Things are slowly starting to show up. That's not a good colour for the bitrate, but it's getting greener. Now it's
I
green.
mean,
There we go.
as long as it isn't, as long as it's not anything like Super Eye Patch Wolf's PC.
Well, it's green now, even if it's not especially the as high as I would prefer. It means people can see it, which means welcome back everybody to the Storytime network, where we are once again playing D&D 5th edition. I'm of course your perpetually exhausted Brit Mill. I am tired today. I'm only going to get tighter as the week goes on. Joining me today, of course, is my fellow players, Jack.
Hello there. I actually got a decent night's sleep, but I am still tired somehow.
That's about how it goes. Again,
I woke up really stiff this morning. I don't know why.
and Dylan.
Can I go back to sleep?
No.
No,
Sadly,
be awake.
Faye's history means that elves can't be put to sleep with the sleep spell.
Yep.
Damn.
And of course, controlling and poking us is our lovely GM, Kaido.
I went to bed rather late. Kind of my fault. The session I was supposed to be yesterday got cancelled. So me and the players who could attend just started chatting crap about what do you call it? Just hot takes, especially about food. Anyway, though, last we left the heroes, Aldane, Seamus, Felix, and Daron, the paladin, bard, painter, and rogue in that order, I think. I can't believe I've already forgotten the order I just said. Anyway, you fought with Rua and Toe, wrapped up after dealing with the Cult of the Tarask at the Moonblade Temple. On the way out, you noticed multiple runes and parts of the area basically reacting to Rua now that you had the Moonblade, such as statues, like taking a knee in respect, and like murals and stuff glowing a platinum color, just like his aura's been. As you got to the entrance, as you decided what you were going to be doing with the cult members that you left alive after they had surrendered, you all encountered the group of orcs that you met last time you were in the Aster Forest, led by Lokan, just like before. They inquired as to why a bright pillar of light appeared, which of course immediately Rua got thrown under the bus as the cause. Not much really came of it, just because like they trusted that it was of benign results.
They're far more trusting than I think they should be with us.
Well, it's because they're But to be fair, you've been dealing with the problems that have been invading the forest. It'd be different if you were part of, say, the cult or the invasive Black Rain group. So technically your goals have kind of aligned, just in different means. But yeah, they accepted that, and basically decided they would let the cult members go, just because this wasn't really their jurisdiction anyway, because the area you are in is a different territory to what the orcs actually live in. And it was only out of pure genuine worry that their area might be invaded that they decided to check. Regardless though, they eventually left as well, leaving you all alone, and you all made your watches for the day as you were preparing to rest. Unfortunately, however, the staff that Felix claimed off the elf, not the elf, the don't know why I said elf, off the mage's body, was a staff of power, which would normally be good, but unfortunately, it seemingly had a curse as it immediately blew up. Thankfully, it didn't seem to be as strong as it should have been, otherwise, you all would have died. Like, it all would have gone all of everyone's. If for the people who basically would have been hit, like, it would have gone over double your max HP for pretty much all of you. Yeah, it would have.
I
But
think even
thankfully-
when it was weaker, it still knocked me down, didn't it?
Yeah, even it was reduced, thankfully, no one died, but it was still pretty harrowing. And then watches immediately got shuffled around to accommodate for more than half of the party being downed. Not even just downed, but at near KO state as well.
Mm.
But regardless, the rest of the watches went on along well. You all spoke to each other about various things. Such as Aldane speaking to his the being that appointed him as a champion, the Biako. Some of you spoke amongst each other about various things of the situation as well. It was all quite nice. You all then got up, made your way back, which took about 2 weeks. But with your goal to head back as soon as you could, you wasted no time traveling through Venari and made your way back home pretty much undisturbed. When you got back, you were immediately greeted by Kuro and various members of the guard, who led you to the castle. And then you got to see Zaras dealing with a very upset and perturbed drow woman, who you quickly learned was Rua's maternal aunt. Whose name is already escaping me. I don't know how. It's because she's not listed as a physical NPC with like a stat line.
Antonua, something like that.
Oh, Anitua.
Anitua.
Yes.
I know.
Why don't we just call her
Antinua-
Bitch
Anitua.
McGee?
But the Karen.
the
Because
Karen?
she was.
The Karen.
Because she wanted to speak to the manager pretty much.
And yes, I did
I
write that name
moved
down.
to change her name officially to Bitch McGee.
But yes, so Anitua with her son, Rua's cousin. Where is the thing? Because I put the list of them quite low. Oh, Neris from the Moravan family, who Dayron would actually have known just because of like their connections, but I forgot to mention it. It was part of. Basically, they own a mercenary group in Bovetman, which is known as the Purple Roses. Some of the members actually being there already to basically be bodyguards for the two drow nobles. Arua was immediately on the offense with very harsh things to say about them. Basically asking them why in the 23 years he's been born they hadn't attempted to make any contact with him and his family. And yeah, pretty much was very unhappy with them. Aside from that, you guys had a bit of a chat with Akra as well, as he decided to help. As he noticed Rua had basically awakened to his way of a monk, being the astral self, of course, with his stand-up powers. Akra decided he would help Rua get a new sort of look, just with like the belief that a hero should always be sort of recognizable in appearance. Especially if people are going to know you and you're going to be traveling around, it helps look as cool as he can be. And so he just decided he'd set Rua's hair on fire, which seemingly didn't affect him. And with a new pair of clothes, Rua's look has changed. You all were able to get some time to relax and prepare for the duel. And when it came to the fight, you guys pretty much like cleaned house.
Yeah, we curb
Apart-
stomped those motherfuckers.
apart from Daron getting the opening crit against them, which they then just uncanny dodged anyway, like there was very little threat, I feel like, in terms of losing, especially with some very strategical uses of your resources, despite various handicaps being laid upon you. And also the fact that the Purple Roses were actually cheating before the fight, as Neris was given haste on him and a Shadow Blade. In spite of that, you still pretty much cleaned house. It didn't really help the fact that, like, Akrua decided he'd even the playing field by demanding, not really demanding, but asking everyone to move closer to him.
That was funny.
Close enough
That was
that
really funny.
closer enough that he could cast haste on his grandson. Everyone was very surprised, but I mean, what are you going to do when the strongest mortal on the planet, like, asks something? To be fair, he did it politely, and like, he never really flexes. Never really tries to flex his power, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, so that happened, which made the fight go even quicker. And yeah, you all won very handedly. And as a reminder, if you don't already have it put on your character sheet, you do have inspiration, the proper kind. And yeah, after the duel actually happened, like as things were winding down, Rua pretty much already walked off, like inside, seemingly just quite. I mean, you could insight him actually as he left to get a gauge on how he was feeling.
Insight. That's a good start.
Not a good start.
Oh, ooh.
Think of it this way, though: it's a fairly inconsequential roll. Like, you've gotten it out the way now.
Yeah.
I got a middling roll.
It'd be different if that was a what's it called? A death save, for example. Yeah. Then you would have had 2 failed. Small victories. To be fair, though, Rua was quite, what's it called? Sort of open with his feelings.
Yeah.
The DC was just 10.
So again,
So
nearly
unfortunately-
reached it anyway.
If Daron had 9 insight, they would have passed. But everyone apart from Daron, you can tell that, like, he just seems like he just really isn't. It's not like he's just annoyed that this had to happen.
I mean, totally understandable.
And he just wants to get this over and done with.
Yeah.
Akrua actually, because I'll bring you guys back to the arena map. Akrua actually just jumps off and like lands next to you guys, and claps his hands and just says, "You all did very well. Congratulations." Although it helps that you guys are actually like an experienced group of fighters, these are just kind of posers.
Felix pokes the one near him with his foot. They don't seem to be posing to me.
It's a turn of phrase. It means that they're more show than tell, if you get what I mean.
I suppose they're not telling anything at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
I mean,
Anyway.
Still poking the unconscious dude with his foot.
You do actually see coming from like the sides. The entrances is like medical staff. Like, you all get an individual medical, like a doctor looking you over to make sure you're all okay. And you see the unconscious members being taken away on stretchers. Gonna remove them. If you actually do look over, though, as the purple roses are being taken away, I didn't mean to bring the turn order back on. That was genuinely my fault. If you look like over this way as the purple roses are being taken in, you do actually see Anita giving you all death glares.
Felix waves happily.
Can I sense ill intent? Is my like
Well, you just beat up her fucking hired mercenary group and her nephew and her son, and basically curb stomped him really. And like, not only that, but bearing in mind, like, her nephew's granddad basically like evened the playing field by helping you guys.
We probably didn't even need it too.
Like, she's having to be physically restrained to not just jump in and like lunge at one of you guys. Not that that would go well for her, because I mean, you could just shove her off easily. Any of you probably could.
I whispered to Aldane, we should probably leave.
I did not catch that at all. Sorry, again, you kind of glitched out.
Sorry, I like whispered to Aldane, we should probably lay low for
I'll
Probably
say
not.
honestly, you don't even really need to like whisper. Normal talking voices are like fine because there's still a lot of cheering and like talking amongst the people.
Yeah, but Dairon's sketchy.
So what you're saying? You guys should lay low, is what you're saying? Sorry.
Dairon's just like, we should be careful.
Akira just shrugs. Why? Like, they're the ones who came here and like have humiliated themselves.
Oh, I agree.
And besides, it's not like even three or four of them could really touch one of you guys individually. Really, if we're being honest.
Does power is fine. We're strong enough to take anything on. It's just there are other ways to hurt us. Such as Aldane's family.
My mother
Yeah,
is
and-
able to take care of herself just fine, but I am concerned for my sister.
I mean, Akira just points behind himself. I mean, you can count 6 people up there who like could also deal with them on their own pretty well.
True, but you know,
Like, there's no shortage of strong people. I mean, hey, even if they do something, like, oh no, they've provoked the ire of Aldane, and now we'll probably stop holding back and kill people. Like, that's really, like, a smart idea for them to do.
Go full vengeance paladin.
I'd like.
Exactly.
yes, my worry is more political than it is anything.
I mean, Rua already cut ties with an entire country and aggroed the queen of another.
Dairon shrugs.
Honestly, don't worry about it. I mean, hey, one of my big achievements was beating and he does in air quotes, a king to death with my fists because he thought he could claim a piece of land as his country when, no, it really wasn't. I mean, that didn't really do much for me politically because, like, it was in the wild cards. Anyway, why don't we check on Rua?
Yeah, probably for the best.
Alright.
Bye, Miss Karen.
You guys back to the world map. So on the world map, you actually just see like Rua just sat on like a chair in sort of the waiting room that you're in, which has like various like what do you call it, like shelves of like weapons and gear. You know, if any of you guys wanted to like specifically just say get something off and like, you know, for like gladiators and tournament fighting as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's just sat at like one of the couches in the waiting area, which there's a few of, and he's just sort of staring up at the ceiling. And he.
How's it feel to wield your power?
I mean, it's weird. Not the wielding power, just everything at the moment. Like, if I hadn't even just left to even get this sword, and he holds up the Moonblade, I wouldn't have been able to probably handle one of them. And we all kicked their asses. I just feel uncomfortable right now dealing with them, and I'm already thinking of a speech I want to say for the people. I do kind of have to address the fact that I've cut an entire country off trade with us and pissed off another, and I'm probably going to start leaving to like help you guys and do stuff more often. And it's just a mess. How are you guys doing, by the way?
I'm fine.
I'm doing all right.
I've been
I'm
better.
alive.
I've been better, but I'm, standing, which is always good.
Yes, fair enough. Just had to burp out of character. I mean, I could have kept it in, but like it would have been a bit weird.
Yeah.
We were suddenly burps in the middle of this talk. It's like,
Yeah.
Bit
But
of a
anyway,
mood whiplash there.
he just stands up and like, all right then. What do you guys think? Do you think the fountain at the lower district is the best place to make a sweeping declaration?
Really?
I mean, it's also the best place. I mean, after that, I want to eat. If you guys want to come along,
Sure.
That's about, yeah.
find
Why
a good
not?
place to eat, and awesome. And as you guys sort of like make your way out of the arena, you are intercepted is a bit of a weird word because it's not really a bad thing. Kurogane is outside the waiting area, and he just waves to you guys and like just grins and says, "Oh God, the fuss with the purple roses is so funny." And she's actually fired all of those people you beat.
Not surprising.
This is my shocked face.
She's she fired the people who gave up, and she especially fired the people who got beaten up. Obviously, she can't fire her own relative. Well,
She's gonna try.
well, I don't really care. It's not my family.
It's not our problem.
Exactly. I mean, even then, like, she got a taste of humble pie. Well, multiple tastes. Anyway.
I mean, I think Neris tasted his own testicles after that groin kick.
Kurogane just, like, forms a grin on his face. And Akira just, like, proudly nods. That was a pretty impressive kick there, boy. Takes me back to the time I ripped a bear's testicles off of my foot. As part of a kick, I mean.
It wasn't just for fun.
I mean, I was fighting for my life, so not really.
I mean, I would have found it weird if you'd done it as part of like a veterinary surgery thing.
No, I mean, the orphanage does count as also a vet and a clinic and everything else, but I mean, if I was going to spay an animal, I wouldn't kick the privates off.
Again, that's why I would have found it weird if you had.
Well, anyway, let me just like as you guys are kind of chatting, you do get like you do start seeing like some more people like that, you know, like you do actually see I'll make a roll to see who appears with you guys. All right, so you do actually see Jade showing up.
Mm-hmm.
She gives you all a congratulatory high five, or at least offers one. And you do also see Zaros as well. And yeah, they're both pretty impressed. And Zaros actually does look to you, Aldane, and gives you a nod. He's still very stone faced, but he gives you a nod. It's up to you to determine what that means.
10 more of those, and you get a free prize.
10 more of those, and you get a free pass from Zarus' Wrath.
You know I'm right here, right?
Hey, I did not say anything. It was these two.
Just rolls his eyes and just says, "Come on now, Rua, you have a speech, right? I can't wait to see how the staff feel when you drag their name through the mud. Because you are doing that, right, Rua?" And he seems uncharacteristically eager. Zaros does, I mean. And Rua just starts walking, not really in the mood. He's being a bit moody.
As you are when your aunt and cousin try to run a coup on you.
I wait.
Yeah.
I wait until Zaris is out of earshot to lean over to Darren. And goes. The last time I saw him that excited, he was cutting someone in half.
Yeah, that's concerning. I wouldn't want to miss this firework.
Well, as you guys make your way, various people actually give you all like waves and nods and cheers.
We really need to come up with a name for the band, huh?
We really should.
Probably a smart
Seamus
idea.
is schmoes.
Akira
No.
just chimes in. Akira just chimes in. I said you can use the wildcard's name if you want.
Yeah, but that feels
That's-
weird.
That would just be confusing down the line for any historians.
No, just call yourselves like the Neo wildcards or the wildcards point two,
Yeah,
Wildcards
like-
2 Electric Boogaloo?
or like the second season of the wildcards.
yeah, but any group that has new attached to them never goes as well.
I mean, there already was a new wildcards. What emphasis on was because, well, I wasn't happy to find out.
You see what I mean?
Yeah, but this is my personal endorsement. You guys aren't deliberately trying to copycat me and my friends who'd been dead for decades at that point. Like, seeing an Aarakocra pretend he's an Azamar is a bit upsetting.
Fair enough.
The hell?
Did he pluck himself?
No, but he was like, "Oh, I have wings. I must be Colgan Divenright, second, like, reborn."
Well, he didn't pluck himself, but apparently he can go fuck himself.
And there was a fucking orc who claimed to be Orcan. Well, apart from the fact that most male Goliaths are bald, to help with the bit though, I did make sure the orc was bald after I was done with him. Anyway, enough about me ripping parts off people. He just starts like,
Dara just has this look on their face like, oh my god, what have we gotten ourselves into?
so yeah, after a bit more walking, you find yourselves at the very familiar fountain, which for 3 out of the 4 of you is kind of where things all started.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how the turtle is doing.
He's either fine and living his life or trapped in another realm again. I give 50-50.
Hmm.
Either way, I hope he's okay, living his best.
Anyway, so as you guys make your way at the, you do actually notice as you're walking, you do have like a bit of a crowd following you. You don't know if they're actually here for this planned speech or if they're just like interested to have like a talk with some of you guys. But it technically helps because I mean you're getting a bit of an audience as Brewer stands in front of the fountain with his grandfather at his side. Zarus is steadfastly stood nearby as well.
Is it possible for me to like hide in the crowd, or is that not a possibility?
Brewer actually gestures for you all to come over
Oh, damn.
and stand near him.
Sorry to hear him.
I'm gonna assume two of us just sandwich Darren to make sure they can't get away.
Don't forget
Yep.
Jade is with you guys. And Kuro. So Jade could be like just vice grip stare on.
I'm not gonna go anywhere.
Good. Besides, you're a hero. What's to fear?
There's no need to fear. The underdogs are here.
We are not calling ourselves the underdog.
Didn't he have that substance abuse problem though?
Uh, uh,
Out of character, I don't know what. That's
Underdog is an old ass cartoon about a dog superhero.
right. Anyway,
And yeah, I think he had the catchphrase, there's no need to fear, underdog is here.
so the thing is, even though Brewer and you guys were like crowded, there are still a lot of people who are like not really paying attention. And so he actually looks to you, Seamus, and says, "Do you mind just casting shatter?" Like he just points above. Seamus?
yes, sir. What's up?
Yeah, he just said, "Do you mind casting shatter?" Like
Oh.
above.
Oh, so I actually have to do a roll for that.
No, just cast the spell. Just say you've cast the spell. He's asking
Well
you
then,
to.
I'm casting Shatter.
So with the booming thunderclap causing a lot of people to look in surprise and horror, like what the fuck's going on? I'm just gonna change the music. I really should have had this already, but it's fine. Oh my god, fuck off Coca-Cola. It's not even Coca-Cola, it's Sprite.
Honestly, I don't even drink soda anymore.
I do, but like, I've not had Sprite in ages.
Sprite is just knockoff 7-Up.
Although I will admit, cranberry Sprite is very good.
Not wrong there.
I wouldn't know, I haven't had Sprite or 7-Up in ages, actually.
I just don't drink soda.
I almost
I haven't-
exclusively just have fucking Iron Brew and Coca-Cola.
I rarely drink soda. It's once in a blue moon for me.
Dr. Pepper Master Race.
No.
Mostly just drink water.
Imagine unironically
The
drinking
nectar of
Dr.
life.
Pepper.
Yeah.
I drink water more, but I actually like flavour with my beverage.
So drink lemonade or something.
Yeah, but that's like boring. I don't know. I mean, I do like
Lemonade is
lemonade.
delicious. What are you talking about?
I'm just trying to. No, I don't want this song. This sounds like we're getting ready for a fucking fight. Oh my god, I actually can't find the song I'm gonna use. Fuck it. Is this the one? Oh my god, I'm so cringe. Is this the one? Please let it be the one. Yeah, fuck it, I don't care. I just want to change the song anyway. As the crowd falls silent, Rua takes a step forward. He does look at all of you first and gives a small smile before looking to the masses, the people, and just says, "Sorry to bother you on this day, but I wanted to have a few words. I have a few announcements to make. Uh, as some of you probably know, but I will say is for everyone who doesn't, we recently had a summit at the neutral point with all of the leaders of all the countries. We have all come together to deal with the various threats that are encroaching upon the land of Tyrol. And we are all working together to make sure that peace can be maintained. However, I do want to make it clear that we are doing the best we can, and there is only so much we can do together, which is why we all need to do our bit. And I don't just mean like, you know, doing the bare minimum. I mean like making an effort, not only to like do the best we can with all of the jobs we have to do, but also reaching out to people. In times like this where we have people like hiding in our ranks trying to dismantle everything that we've worked so hard to build, we still need to trust people and work together and prove that no matter what these villains, these horrible people are trying to do, we're better than them and we won't lose to them. That being said, I know some business people will be upset as I have made a recent change into some of the business in our country. And he just pauses for a bit. I have called an immediate cease of all business with Blackrain, effective immediately from the point from a few weeks ago when we're at the neutral point. I understand this will harm some businesses, but on good conscience I cannot accept slavers being allowed to be effectively, what's the word, rewarded for continuing that attitude and that behaviour. It's been 80 years since my dad and many of the brave souls fought to fight against slavery and oppression being a thing. And as his son, and as my grandfather, Akra Evere, as he points him out behind him, he just gives like a small wave to everyone. With the blood of heroes running through my veins, I can't in good conscience just let bad things happen in front of me when I can choose to do something about it. And of course, I know some businesses will be affected by this change, and so I do intend to compensate for any business lost. And for the next, and he just pauses for a bit as he thinks, 3 months at the very least, any loss of money you would have had with Blackrain will be compensated, full. Until you can find ways to equalize the profits. Or make do. I've said my piece. If you don't like it, there's other countries that should help. And he just shrugs. Also, I'm going to be taking a more active stance in leading this kingdom to what it should be. I know it's been 3 years since my dad and my mother went missing, but just because they're missing doesn't mean I intend to let that hold me down anymore. And I do have to thank my many, many useful and helpful and kind staff members who've helped throughout the kingdom. Such, of course, as he gestures to Zaros, our lovely Minister of Military here, with his kind words and kind expressions. And a few members in the crowd just chuckle. Among many of the other staff that you probably have seen, or haven't, but are still in the background making work for us all, so that we can keep the country afloat. But yeah, the point is, without them, this country would have probably fallen, and I want to make that up by actually making a very conscious effort of making things better. I intend to make this country better than what my dad did when he was ruling. And in that vein, I actually intend to completely reshape the budget for the country, especially of which is at least a 50% cut to all military and guard expenses, with that money being moved into education and medical services, especially. I know our medicine and education is some of the best around, but I intend to make it even better. I want us to be the example every country should be following. And if we're being absolutely honest, I do believe that even though the guards do work hard and our military is quite good, it's still not enough. The cult of the Tarask and this invasive force from another country that we aren't sure exactly of have been allowed to continue, and things haven't really been adequately done to combat this. And until they can prove themselves, their budget will be slashed to make until they can prove themselves again. And you do actually see quite a few guards looking quite annoyed by that.
What about Kuro in his group?
Kuro smiling and nodding. And he actually looks to you and just like mouths, because he knows he can lip read. I agree, he pretty much says.
Darren nods back at him, like good.
For those who aren't happy with this choice, then, and anything else I intend to also say, I do intend to hold a meeting sometime soon, at least by 2 or 3 weeks from now, or maybe 1, it depends on how schedules can be. But I intend to elaborate more on these changes, and for anyone to offer any varying viewpoints, I welcome it. I want us to be open and communicative with each other. And I hope you are willing to make the effort to tell me if you're unsatisfied, but also let me know what you think could be done better. That I haven't mentioned so far, but I do intend to elaborate more on various changes as time goes on. This is just mostly what I've had in mind for a while. I do also want to call attention to some brave individuals who've distinguished themselves recently and helped this country be a lot safer than it otherwise would. Any gestures to you four? And asks you to basically come forward.
I think Darren does that slowly, but is a little hesitant.
You all step forward.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So as you all stand in a line with each other, Rua gestures to you all and just says, "These brave heroes have done a lot for this country, and some of you will probably have seen them do various work around the city, and recently helped me with a duel that only just happened about an hour or so ago." The names, of course, and he gestures to Aldane. Aldane Cyanidel, the heir to the Cyanidel estate. A fairly popular noble, I'd say, with his bright good looks, matching his golden hair and golden heart.
I just glance over to Rihanna.
He has been a steadfast shield for this country and served with distinction and effort and goodwill. And I can't ask for a better childhood friend.
You're gonna make me blush.
Well, I hope not. I'm not into those sorts of things, Aldane. And the crowd just starts chuckling again. If you look at Oriana, who is in the crowd, she actually does she's almost beaming towards Aldane as she hears this.
Aw, she's proud of him.
Eldane flashes a quick smile to her.
Next is Seamus, who some of you might have known a few years ago back when my dad was still in charge, who was our court jester, now has kind of gone up in the world and become a full-fledged hero. He's a countryman from Tennoyama, but I'd like to think he has a home here and always will, just like any people here who want to work hard and treat people better.
Seamus gives like a half step forward and does like a kind of like a half stage bow, more or less.
He has already become very accomplished, even though he joined this lovely group a bit later, has more than made up for it with his efforts and his charm. And then he gestures to Felix, another native of Tennoyama. Felix here is a travelling painter who came on a whim, as he looks to you, for clarification.
Felix basically sort of nods. Yeah, just about.
In spite of that, he has fought bravely, not only for here, but for the rest of the land, just like everyone here has. He's a very accomplished caster of spells and has already done some very good works of art. And I look forward to see what he does next. His bright personality definitely has lightened things up in otherwise tense times. And then he gestures to you, Daron. And last but not least is Daron Gale, who
That's all I'll say about that.
is a citizen of Bovetman, but has recently moved, and in spite of some rocky differences between us, I know Daron ultimately means well, and like all of us, we've all been through some hard times, and I know Daron has, and I'd like to commend Daron for their perseverance in spite of that. They are very capable, and you've probably seen them do various missions around the city, many jobs that have helped our guard with their workload, and is just a capable warrior as anyone else amongst their comrades. And yeah, that's pretty much them. All of them have done very well, and I'm proud to call them my friends. And I'd like us all to give them a round of applause for their work that they are currently doing, and hopefully will continue to do for a long time. And the crowd does actually give you all a very enthusiastic applause. Various names are cheered out of you guys. You know, like you hear like Felix, Daron, like all that.
I probably spot my fan club somewhere in the crowd.
You do see a gathering of Seamus's schmoes, and they do like wave at you.
Seamus waves back.
A few of them actually faint. And Rua, after a while, the noise does die down, and Rua just says again, with my friends here, and all of the brave warriors and soldiers of this land, and all of you incredibly kind, hard-working townspeople, again, I want to emphasize the merits of working together, that we need to work together, and just be better than what's expected. And always keep improving and just being decent people. I feel like I've waffled off long enough now, so I won't keep you any longer, but thank you for your time, and I hope you all continue to have lovely days. And he gives a bow. And again, the crowd is very happy, very enthusiastic, and Rue just begins to walk away to just a random like part of the city, in the lower district, I should say. Just randomly like fucks off, and like gestures for you guys to follow along.
Mm.
All right, we follow along.
I'm just gonna change the music again because now it's a bit more lively. following you actually is Akira and Kurogane. Zaris and Jade have stayed behind. As you're walking along, you just see Rua like heave a very heavy sigh.
Glad it's over.
I'm just tired. I've had to do a lot of fucking talking today.
Understandable.
What do you think of that little speech, by the way?
It was nice.
Very stirring.
I'm glad. Ugh. Not looking forward to dealing with my staff. There'll be probably a lot of perturbed guards worried about their job security. I do also intend to completely restructure some of the captains, especially the middle tier. As helpful as Cliff Stendhal has been as guard captain, he's also completely fucking useless and doesn't deserve his role.
Fair
If any of you
assessment.
guys know of if any of you guys know middle tier guards who would be useful as guard captain, let me know. I'll definitely put them under consideration.
Felix just has an imagined spot of Ration as guard captain, and then goes, "No."
I think Darren also has the same one. I just agree.
No, that would be a bad time. That would not make things
Yeah.
better.
For a while though, I thought about saying all that stuff. I wanted to say more, but I wasn't in the mood to basically drag some of my own staff's names through the mud. I already intend to have personal chats with them anyway. Let it know very abundantly that I don't intend to be a puppet.
Probably a smart stance to take.
Mm-hmm.
It's more the fact that I don't want to really punch anyone in front of the townspeople and like. Again, I don't want to be seen as a king who just like throws his fists around. I mean, I'm willing to fight for my people and like other people, but like, I don't want to be seen as punching down. I just want to be punching up, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys, check the general chat on the Discord. I just put a party name idea up there. Take it or leave it. It's up to you guys. Just an idea.
King's Gambit's a nice name.
Not bad. We can consider it for now, but
Yeah, we can
wanna-
workshop it. I just figured I'd spitball one idea out there.
Yeah.
It's a good name.
that's not a bad idea.
As you're walking though, Kuro actually is quite proudly smiling, just saying, "Well, I think you did a very good job, Rua. It's good to see you've come into your own so quickly." And honestly, I'm glad you decided to do that with the guards. There've been a lot that have just been sitting on the laurels, and I think it's nice to see them kind of squirm a bit and have to earn their keep. Although I hope I'm not one of the people who's been doing a poor job as a guard, Rua. And he just gives like a sad look. And he's just met with like a eye roll. Like, what are you on about? Like, ugh. As bad as it is to say, it's sadly the middle and high tier districts that have been really underperforming. Doesn't really help that they don't have such hyper competent people like I'm trying to think like Kami, for example. I mean, I feel like every guard could every group of guards could have a Kami, and the world would be a much safer place.
You may be right about that.
Oh, he is definitely right about that.
I mean, hey, who knows? Kuro actually just says, you could always make Guy a guard captain for the middle tier district. I'm sure
I
he'd
don't think
appreciate-
Guy will go for that.
I mean, he'd
Not at
probably
all.
appreciate the bonus. I mean, he's basically doing quite a bit of my job. On top of his
Guy
own
was my
responsibility.
thought, honestly.
Rua does not. I mean, and he just says, yeah, I agree. He'd probably be a good place. As long as you don't force work on him, though, Kuro. Otherwise, you might have to be the guard captain of the middle and lower tier districts. And then you'll have to be demoted, wouldn't you? And this all pretty much just goes on for a bit until you find like just a random restaurant. I'll make a roll to decide what food it is. Okay, it is actually like this. It's actually a new place. The sign is basically of a bugbear with a very big grin, called Bugbear Billy's Burgers.
Oh my god.
And the sign actually has a cartoonishly drawn bugbear with a grin and a thumbs up, as a burger is to his side, also drawn quite cartoonishly. It's only like it's like a proper fast food restaurant. It's more like just a small place. It's like only got like 3 tables for separate groups, but it's pretty empty at the moment. And the bugbear actually looks at you all. It's actually a fairly older looking gentleman, as he just eyes you all and just says, "Oh, take a seat. If you want, I'll grab you some extra chairs." And Rue just like, "It's fine. We'll just get the chairs ourselves. Just focus on the food." And he just nods. And you all pretty much get like a table to yourselves and some chairs. And you're all given individual menus. The menus themselves is like all the burgers can be customizable, so you can decide everything that you want, but you do have to pay for each individual topping that you get. So if you want like a lot of stuff, that will cost you a bit. Like pretty much anything you can think of with putting on to a burger, it's there.
Let's get some nice, delicious tomato sauce, aka ketchup, and a few greens on there as well.
Rue and Akra both grimace at you, Aldane, and just almost simultaneously just say, "Ugh, ketchup."
Your taste is not my taste. I won't
Ketchup's-
judge you for.
Rue's just like, "But ketchup's so fucking bland."
Let's get me an egg, some cayenne pepper, some cheese if there's available. Preferably
yeah.
one infused
Entire-
with some.
There's an entire
Some-
section on the menu with various cheeses.
Yes. What's your
Ooh.
spiciest one?
The spiciest one is called Dragon's Hellfire.
Yes, that please.
I'll have some cheese as well. Let's go with some lettuce and some tomato and some.
Do you have any truffle? What's the equivalent of truffle oil?
Yeah, truffles do exist.
What's the
Mike.
equivalent to barbecue sauce?
Barbecue sauce. Just
And
barbecue sauce.
aioli.
What's aioli?
It's like a mayonnaise kind of sauce.
I mean, there is sections for like different sorts of mayonnaise, so I'd say it could be there.
So yes, let's also get some barbecue sauce and let's get some bacon as well.
There is also like template burgers of like specific combos you can get of like, just say the standard where it's like these particular toppings and stuff, but the emphasis is more on like being able to mix and match what you want. Akira just picks all the spiciest options. So for the cheese, it's this, like, the Hellfire one I said, Dragon's Hellfire. He asks for a burger, like the burger meat, is called Inferno beef, and just like all the spiciest options, and yeah. Kuro just gets like a standard bacon cheeseburger. What about Felix and Seamus?
Just fuck me up, fan.
There is actually a fuck me up burger,
I'm
and
down.
it's like some of the Greek. Think of like, you know, the Heart Attack restaurant. Is it called?
Oh yeah,
That's
like a
Oh,
heart
yeah.
attack burger kind of thing.
It's like that. It's like a Heart Attack burger.
Well, Seamus will order the fuck me up, fam.
It's not called the fuck me up fam. It's called the fuck me up friend, but it's pretty close enough.
Don't care. I'm calling it fuck me up, fam.
And there's even a child's menu. If you actually look over, there's a child's menu that has freak me up friend. Just so there's no cursing.
Frick me up, friend.
Okay
Yeah.
there, friendo.
What about Felix? What's he getting? Oh
What?
God. Yeah, what's Felix getting?
Felix is just gonna get the patty with some assorted vegetables and eat it without the buns. And some sauce.
Oh, veggie burger.
Not a veggie burger. The actual burger is made of meat, but just with veggies on the side to eat it with.
Fair. So, unless you all want to pay separately, you can all pay as a group and just like put in like, you know, Go Dutch as it was. Although that's not really going Dutch isn't really a thing in this setting because you know.
How much does it cost us?
Fucking Holland isn't really a thing.
How much does it cost us? Because we do have a party supply of gold.
Altogether, with what everyone's getting, it would be total. Altogether, it is actually 50 gold.
Fucking hell. That's an expensive meal.
Well, it's because you can customize it, and if you pick like a lot of different toppings, which some of the people have, Akira especially, like the spiciest options cost a little bit more than some of the standard options.
Yeah, we have like 150 gold in the
So you
party.
can pay
thing.
that.
So yeah.
So you all pay your bit. It
Mhm.
takes about like because this guy's on his own, but somehow he's managing to work on 7 separate burgers at once. It's honestly an accomplishment.
That's some impressive skill right there.
Partway into the meal, partway into the wait though, there's just this waft of smell, and it's almost like you've just inhaled a lit match. It's like just heat.
One assumes that that's Rua's meal.
Brewer actually got a similarly spicy meal to his granddad. Maybe he's trying to look cool in front of him.
Or maybe just like stuff with kick, who knows?
But Dayron, because you're having the spiciest cheese, the cheese is already bubbling before it's even being cooked and like heated up.
This is gonna be good.
The cheese is also very red tinted, almost like blood.
This looks like a fuck me up fan, alright?
The Fuck Me Up fan actually has bacon so thick that like it's crazy, and the Fuck Me Up friend has like 3 of these chunky bacon slices. It's like think of like a fry cut in half, and it's that thick.
Nice.
And yeah, the actual burger patty is like a double burger, but just as one big patty on its own.
Like a full pound patty or something.
Yeah.
Are you
It's
So
trying
Seamus
to give
just-
yourself a heart attack, man?
Seamus just unhinges his jaw and just like stuffs the whole burger into his mouth.
But yeah, like all of you get your own burgers. They are very well presented. All the plates have their own like intricately designed patterns on them. Felix has one with like cherry blossoms with a sakura tree in the middle. Seamus actually has one with like various music notes. And if you actually, because Seamus would be able to read music, right?
Yeah.
It does actually play the tune of what would be the national anthem for Cordis.
Nice.
Daron has one of various like. It looks like gold leaf. They've not put gold leaf on it, but the design is like intricately gold leaf pieces looking. Aldane's actually looks like the sun, with beautifully drawn lines along it, and actually has some celestial scripture on it, of like some prayers. Akrua literally just has like what looks like a fireball just on the plate. Kurogane has a crescent moon with a star in the middle. And Rua has a sword that looks surprisingly similar to his moonblade, weirdly enough. Seamus is the biggest burger by far, though. Like, his is a fucking chonker.
Chonky boy.
There's actual heat waves coming from Rua and Akrua's burgers. And everyone else's is like, because they're nowhere near as like crazy, they almost seem quite tame in comparison. But yeah, you guys all get to enjoy a meal. Dylan, you said Seamus is going to try and devour the burger, right?
Yes.
Like in one go.
Well, that was more of a joke, but yeah, let's do it.
If you do it, Kurogane, Rua, and Akra both egg you on.
Yeah.
If you actually are doing it, give me a Constitution saving throw.
Let's go. Let's go.
So you don't hurt your jaw, which means you would have taken a D4 in damage. But it is hard. You nearly actually heave and like retch because of how much you accidentally put in your mouth at once.
Just so much meat.
So much meat. He's nicely gotten a lot of the grease out, so it's not like super greasy, but it's still like quite thick pieces of meat that are well cooked.
I'm just stuffing my mouth with all this meat.
Oh
The
god.
hell?
That sounded awful.
Bruh, no. That sounds weird and gross.
But yeah,
That was the point.
you get it down though. I'm also gonna ask for Darren to do a con save for the spicy cheese.
Okay. Amazing.
So the DC was 12,
Oh,
but you do
so
take
close.
you take a bit of fire damage, as you nearly end up having to spit the piece out that's in your mouth. Because you take a large enough piece of like bite where it's like, oh shit, there's too much spice. And you take you take max damage. You take 4 points of fire damage. As you have to down your complimentary free drinks that come with the meal. You have to like down your glass to like, you know, soothe your tongue. And then Akra takes his bite. Now he has to make a con save.
What's his modifier for his con save?
Give me a sec. We'll have a look together. Wrong character sheet. He has a +10 to con saves. I'm just seeing if there's anything he can do to like cheat his way through this. So before he actually bites into the burger, he puts his hands together, and silver energy just surrounds his body. as he activates the samurai fighting spirit to give himself 15 temp HP. And he takes a big bite into it. And 12 DC was only dare on save. This is much higher. And I'll make this a public roll.
Get a nat 1.
So he failed the save because it was 20.
Fucking hell.
So he does take some fire damage. This is going to be a I'll say D12 fire damage. So he only takes 4. So that's 4 out of 11. But you do see him pause a bit as he's like chewing this burger because he took a big bite as well.
Mm.
And his face starts beginning to get quite red from the sweat that's emitting from him. And now Rua has to do a con save. Actually, wait, I forgot. Aldena's Aura of Protection, right?
Yes.
So Darren would have passed the save, so they don't take damage.
Oh, nice.
Akira still fails.
Barely.
And now it's Rua's turn. Who got a very similarly hot burger, and now he has to make a con save with only a +2.
Well, technically a +6.
It's still not great.
No.
Now Rua has to go no balls. So he does even worse, so he takes actually more damage. So I'm going to do this as a public D20 dice.
Oh god.
His eyes just widen as he's like biting into this. As that took off fucking 11 out of the 30 HP he has because he didn't heal up after the fight.
Did you just take more damage from a burger than you did from the fight?
Just like, yeah. Turns out the fucking food is more dangerous than Bovet.
Usurpers to the throne.
Yeah, it turns out fucking Bovet
Would be usurpers, I think.
Turns out
Would be
Bovet.
usurpers.
Yeah, it turns out a Bovetman mercenary corps is weaker than a fucking burger.
You know, I'm actually surprised that our one-shot club wasn't hired by the what's-her-face.
The Purple Roses were explicitly like her soldiers, effectively.
Ah.
But on the subject of them, somewhere in Bovetman, Athru just goes, I feel offended somehow.
And Pelios sneezes out of nowhere.
I mean, that's if
that's
Pelios
weird.
hasn't got. That's if Pelios hasn't gone insane.
Jubilee's just like, I feel like I
Elias
should
is-
shoot. I need to shoot something.
Pelios' fate is currently unknown until there's the next one-shot club. Technically, all
What
of
do
the
you
fates
want
are
to
unknown,
do the
because
next
Nelka
one-shot
dead.
club?
I know what I'm doing.
No, when do you want to do it?
I don't know. I'll see how I feel. I'd like to think there's enough momentum and steam at the moment with this campaign
Yeah.
that I do want to keep this going. Probably whenever you guys hit level 7.
Okay.
That's for another time. So, you all kind of talk about just whatever. You all like chat and like, you know, have a fun time as you all get to enjoy your burgers. Seamus is so bloated that he has only 25 movement speed for the rest of the day.
No.
His movement speed has been reduced by 5 for the rest of the day.
That's funny.
Rua now has a weakness to fire damage for the rest of the day. And now has to be careful with certain foods, which won't really be a problem. But yeah, otherwise though, you all enjoy a very fun time and a very fun meal. but it is unfortunately kind of not cut short, but like after a while, you do see a somewhat familiar halfling, a halfling woman with brown hair, who you recognise to be the treasurer of Cordis, Michelle Starmeadow. Who
She ain't gonna be happy.
she's just
Wait,
looks
is
at
she
him and says,
Mikhail's relative?
siblings?
Siblings.
You would know.
Cool.
And yet she just looks at you all and just says, "I'm glad you're having a good time, because I'm having to deal with the fact that this speech that a certain king had has caused a lot of stirring within the nobility. An entire 10% of our businesses have just decided they're going to move.
Their loss.
She just looks at you with wide eyes, Aldane, as if you've just said, like... As if you've just told a guy who's, like, been amputated at the leg to just walk it off.
Felix inches away from Aldane
Like,
at that look.
sorry, did I hear you correctly there, Aldane? Sorry, Sir Cyanidel? And she's just
I'm
furiously
sorry.
blinking at you.
I must have said something insensitive.
Felix whispers to Seamus, 5 gold on the halfling.
Rue just shakes his head. Rue actually just shakes his head as he swallows the last bit of his burger. No, Aldane didn't say anything wrong. It is their loss. If they're willing to still partner with slavers, then well, he just shrugs. Sounds like we didn't really want them in the first place or need them. And I mean, I don't know about you, but from what I've heard, 10% still puts us in the top, what, I want to say, fourth? We're still the fourth most financially successful country at that point then?
Aren't there like 6 countries?
The 7 total.
That puts us still in the middle of their pack.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's gonna correct back. I mean, if anything, there should be some businesses that maybe want to work with Cordis more now that we've decided not to work with Black Rain.
We're actually not. Yeah, it'll probably make Tenoyama, Colonial Pole a lot more willing to work with us now, more than they already were. So we'll probably get more than like equal replacements. And Michelle's just like, and this still is a big problem. And not only that, but you've apparently claimed that we're going to be slashing military and guard funds? And he's like, yeah, I'm sure that'll be fun for you. It'll give you something to do over the coming weeks, right? He's like, you can't just make sweeping declarations like that without telling us. Is that how this works, Rua?
Kind of is, isn't it?
And
This is a monarchy.
Isn't this an absolute monarchy? I thought it was.
Rua actually puts up pen and says, well, my dad wanted, even though my dad's, at the time when he was in power, was given, like, the final say in things, the reason he had this sort of council of staff that he would consult is to, like, not go power mad. So in the theory, if he did, and, like, abuse his power, the consultants would be there to advise him, if you get what I mean.
So is it still an absolute monarchy, or is it more of a constitutional monarchy?
What's the difference?
I mean, the difference is that in the constitutional monarchy, the monarch still has to obey the laws.
I mean, yeah, that pretty much. Like, gross abuse of power is a no-no. But, and Rua just looks to Michelle, how long was it before any of you even started to even tell me what you were doing? In the country that's supposed to be mine. You know, because I'm the king. And I don't know, is it really such a bad thing to slash arguably wasted military and guard funds to put them into things that will actually make an impact? Or are you fine with our medical and education services being not as optimal as they could be? And he just gives her a knowing look as if to say, you know, like, she's not going to look good regardless what she says unless she agrees with him. And she just grits her teeth and, like, looks quite annoyed. And she's like, well, I'm not the only one being affected by this. Our foreign minister has to deal with the fact that we're, like, effectively shunting off Black Rain, which means our PR with Black Rain's going to take a hit. And Rua's just like, oh no, the country of slavers and oppressors is going to be upset with us. Big fucking deal.
Didn't they actively send spies and saboteurs into our country multiple times?
Well, as far as we know, it wasn't the Black Rain government, it was just this, like, group. And, you know, we are planning to send people over to make inquiries, with the work of all the other countries, of course, but, like, who gives a shit? Testament's a dick. Sorry, testicle. Oh no, wait, sorry, I was correct the first time. Testament. I mean, Michelle, if you're really that upset, then, like, I could just tell your brother, Corwin, you know, the patriarch of the Star Meadow family, that you've been doing some bad things, you know, like not telling me what exactly you've been doing with our funds. For all I know, you could have been embezzling the funds for the whole time I was appointed king. And I do intend to be looking at all of the financial history of the country in the time I was appointed. So you'd best hope that you haven't been embezzling, because, well, not only will I make it so you'll never find work again, but I'm sure your brother will make it so you'll find even less work. What's the insight for, Dayron?
I want to get a sense. I want to get a sense of whether or not she's. There's a sense of like, oh no, he knows, or
She's
like,
she's just more pissed off at the fact that, like, he's not giving her even an inch with which to, like, counter. And it seems like anything she would do, that she could have, he's probably going to come back even harder. And with the threat that he could effectively ruin her life and make it so she'll never find work again, she doesn't want to piss him off anymore. And he just says, I could have told everyone during my speech of what all of you have been doing. You're lucky I was kind. And he just says, and if you want to, you can rally the nobility to topple my country, but... And he just looks at everyone in the room. Even the 6 of these people, even not counting my granddad. Well, I'd like to think my friends would be there to defend me. And he looks at you guys and just says, would you say I've done anything wrong? Honestly, because I do want your opinions.
Darren shrugs as no.
Nope, Black Rain is dicks.
Honestly, Black Rain can go fuck themselves.
Well, not even just that, but I mean, like, you know, me slashing the military and guard funds in half. Because I intend to do it at least by 50%. Maybe even 80 if I'm feeling really spicy.
Just make sure you
50
still
should
got
be
enough
fine.
money to pay them. Pay the soldiers.
50 should be fine.
Don't
They'll send
worry.
a message while leaving enough to pay them.
It's fine. They'll be me. I'm not going to leave the guards and, like, staff unemployed. It's just any extra funds like equipment and all that kind of stuff. Well, they might have to pay out of some of their own pockets, considering that, like they really don't need most of the funds when they're not really doing much right now. Like, no offense to you, Kuro, but, like... And Kuro just interrupts Rue and just says, it's fine, I get the point. I mean, you're not wrong. We do have at least, like, over 100,000 gold still laying around. And we're supposed to be coming into our next budget that we're getting. And Rue just gestures. Case in point, you have 100,000 gold. That's more than enough to double all of the lower tier guards' wages and still have a lot left over. So if you're done, Michelle, how about you get back to work? I mean, why are you here now? Like, shouldn't you be working? Not to be rude, it's just, you know, you've come to, like, yell at me, and you've just caused a scene. And he's just gestured behind her, and there's like a crowd gathered. And you just hear some people like, "Holy shit, is that Seamus the musician?" And like, you know, "Oh, is that fabulous Daron person?" And like, you know. And Michelle just like storms off in a huff.
Oh, that was fun. Hey, Akira, do you want to play some mahjong?
Oh my god.
I'm not really into mahjong. I mean, I don't mind it. It's just, well, I don't know
How
when
many
you
fingers does Felix have still?
All of them.
Still have all my fingers.
I mean, I don't know. I'm more interested in training Rua up, to be honest. I want to see how strong he is, especially with that fancy sword. Who knows? Maybe it'll even make me use. Well, I don't want to be cringe and say 1% of my power because that's stupid.
Say it. Do it.
No, I'm not cringe, Aldane. He just looks at you. I mean, I'll have to probably put some effort in. It's just, well, I don't know. Still, I want to train Rue up and see how he stacks up against, like, what I've seen from you guys and other things.
Fair enough.
And Rue just nods and says, yeah. I mean, I want to do some training anyway. Which reminds me, as he looks at you all, what's your next move anyway? Have you decided?
Probably going up to Black Rain.
Black Rain? Why are we going to Black Rain yet?
Thought we should go to Colonia Pole first.
I mean, well, let's hear Darren out. Why do you think we should go? Why do you think you should go to Black Rain?
Probably because they have the pieces.
I mean, that's a fair point. Do you have an idea where the pieces in Black Rain are pieces if they have more than one?
Probably not. You need to do some information gap.
Indeed.
Again, give me an intelligence check.
Darren's dumb.
Anyway, as you were saying, I was throwing you a bone there, but didn't play out
That's
as
fine.
well.
Darren's dumb. It's fine.
It's not really dumb. I mean, at least a 12 in intelligence is above the average, really. Like, you technically have a higher intelligence score than, like, 90% of, like, the Cardassian population.
My only point is that we should probably start, at the very least, digging around at Black Rain.
I mean, we could look for the piece in Tennoyama and then go to Black Rain afterwards.
True.
Speaking of that, Kuro actually interjects. I've been keeping in contact with my brother, of course. Apparently, Hayato has been sending people out to look for stuff like that, but from what I've heard, there has been a very perturbed, like, issues in the oceans near Tennoyama, to the east. Maybe that's what you're looking for? I don't know.
It's very likely. We also need to, at some point, go to Bovet, but let's let the heat die down a little bit before we go back there.
No, I'm sure it's fine. I mean, you're only the hot commodity of Bovetment now that the Queen knows that you're like gallivanting in here and have pretty much been given the King's protection. As he just grins at you, Dayron.
It's not the Queen I'm worried about.
Oh, I know. I mean, even then, like, if they do attack you, diplomatic immunity, right?
Yeah, these aren't people who care about such things.
No, but they are employed by the Queen, even if only in secret. It's fine. Besides, I know a friend who could give you all fake identities.
Oh, I know I can get. I have a fake. Should have a few left. But
But I mean, a new one that's not been tampered by them, or they would be aware, is what I'm getting at.
true enough. Regardless, both admins on the list at some point. I just don't feel the need to go there immediately.
I'd say we stick to this side of the continent for now and then tackle the stuff on the other side later.
We do need to go to Pahola at some point fairly soon, I think.
True.
Brewer does chime in and says, whatever you do, if you are planning to leave the country, I'll come with you guys. Again, I do want to take a more active role in dealing with these problems. So count me in.
I do feel like that Ancient White should be our first port of call.
Do you want to take on an Ancient White when we are at the level we are?
Not really.
We should wait until we're stronger before we try taking that thing on.
Again, like I said again, free intelligence checks for you all. Again, I'm throwing you guys a bone.
My intelligence is unfortunately not particularly high.
And? Okay,
Observe.
yeah, fair. If anyone else wants to, because this isn't just Aldane and Felix, Darren and Seamus can do it as well.
I'll toss an intelligence check on that.
I
Oh,
almost
yeah.
Oh my god! Even if you guys want to use your inspiration for this,
I know.
Big rain.
Fu-
Big
Seamus
rain
did
moment.
it. Seamus, you remember hearing that from what you remember about the Ancient White, he's seemingly weaker than he otherwise should be.
I'd still
So
want to
instead
get
of
stronger before we tackle him.
Instead of dealing with an ancient class enemy, dragon, it might only be an adult. You don't know.
Hmm.
And with Ruinto, that's an extra person who can help.
Akra, question. As we are
Answer.
now, do you believe that we are strong enough to take on an adult dragon?
He just winces, and you know the thing you do with your hands where it's like your index and your thumb, you do the rectangle shape?
Oh yeah.
He just does
Yeah.
that at you all for a moment. And includes Rua. And he does this to you all for at least 2 minutes. Adult white. And you're, from what I can sense, you're about, I'd say, this strong. And adult white is the weakest of the adult dragons, apart from Brass. So that makes things a bit more fair. And I'd say you'd be like this level. Honestly, I'd say you could handle it fairly comfortably if you don't fight like idiots. And from what I saw with just handicaps alone in that tournament fight, you could fucking crush it.
So in other words, we're going dragon hunting?
Also, think of it this way: if it's an ancient dragon in theory, it must have a pretty banging horde of items, right?
Oh.
Even if it's just money, that's still money to buy things with.
Mm.
And also, you'd be getting one of your 7 magical dragon things.
What
So at
do
least
I know?
At least one of
do
you
I-
is getting a swanky weapon.
Do I know that with isolation, I am more susceptible
To what?
to dragons. I know that I'm more.
You would know that they would dislike you more, Because you have noticed during your times when you've been seeing kobolds and dragonborn and lizard folk, some of them have been giving you a stink eye. And you do know, all of you would remember, it didn't come up, but like, the king of Siltonok did try to give Darren a wide berth once or twice, if he could help it. It did look a bit uncomfortable, but like, not much you can do about that. Also, don't forget it seemingly has beef with Aldane's dad, so it might have a bigger issue with someone else.
Dragons are pretty intelligent in the setting, right?
Dragons are, but white dragons in particular, are the most animalistic.
Mm.
They are typically chaotic evil at best.
But still
So-
intelligent enough to hold a grudge.
Give me an Arcana check if everyone wants to.
Do we know where the dragon is precisely?
Oh my fucking god.
I got the duality of man in a very different sense than normal.
If Aaron, you also want to do this Arcana check, I'll allow it. Of course you can.
Oh, that's a good roll.
Aaron, you remember from what you would have probably known about white dragons, at least from the descriptions that I've said, they are the least intelligent. Out of character, they actually have an intelligence in the negatives.
Yeah, they're pretty dumb. Dumber than me.
They're animalistic. They're very, like... Even an ancient white dragon has, like, the same mental capacity, I guess you could say, in terms of pure intelligence, on par with, like, a commoner. Like, they aren't known for being very clever. They're known for being very animalistic. So if you came up with a very clever strategy, it's very likely it could play into your hands.
At least we're not facing off against the ancient green.
God, that sounds like a nightmare.
But yeah, in theory, it should actually be quite a decent fight, especially if any of you like force int saves on it or stuff like that, which is very hard to do anyway. But you know,
Wait, hold on. Doesn't my hideous laughter need an int save?
it's wisdom.
Oh, it's wisdom. Oh,
But-
but
Slapping a wisdom save anyway would be pretty good because they're not very wise
not very
or
wise
charismatic.
either.
They're not very wise or charismatic either.
They don't have high mental stats overall.
It's more an ancient, an adult white dragon. If we're going by pure statistics of that, is more charismatic than Akrura, but Akrura's a lot more intelligent than one and can present himself better. For example, it's also more charismatic than because he also has a negative charisma. But yeah, that's just if you want to do that and prepare for that. If you do that, give me a second. I'll do the measurements for you for distance. Because I do have the distance calculator up. Talk amongst yourselves if you want to keep deciding your plans, though.
Are we going into our free time after this?
Yeah, we'll be doing downtime activities.
Sweet,
Kuro
sweet.
does remind you guys, there is the bear creature that he's encountered that nearly killed him. That was quite dangerous. And that was only like going near the forbidden ice.
Would it not be quicker to take a boat to that area?
The oceans would all be frozen over around. And that's if the ice is stable enough to support you. And you'd have to make your way across ice.
Oof.
So in other words,
Or-
let's just go to the capital city of Coloniapol and leave from there.
That to get to Cludniapol, that's like round it up to 720 miles. That is 30
month or
days.
so. Yeah,
It would take you.
we're gonna be
a
gone a
month.
while.
It'd take you a month, and then this is if you are able to go in a straight line to the Forbidden Ice, which isn't possible because there's a lake, a river. But even if you did the most direct path to get to the entrance, that's another just say 320 to get to the outside.
Hmm.
So what, another 15 days or so?
Another couple weeks, yeah.
Altogether, that would be 1,040 miles. And
It's
yeah,
not horrible.
320 miles is an extra 13 days.
We're really
So in
missing
total-
the MVP now.
So in total, this will take.
3 months minimum
Well, no.
round trip.
Yeah, to get there, it would take over a month, and that's depending on factors like things slowing you down, like weather, or when you even get there, because that would be if you got there and immediately did the dragon. So yeah, that's
I mean,
a lot of time.
would Tennoyama be even any shorter of a journey? I mean, at the end of the day, it's a big
get there?
continent. Yeah.
Well, that's if you can get a boat, which thing you would get you on. Kuro could help use his connections with his brother.
Hmm.
But even then, that's finding the beast out on the ocean.
Hmm.
And if it is a water beast, if it is an aquatic enemy, you'd have to be prepared for ocean combat.
Hmm.
Which I don't think any of us are at the moment.
None of you have a swim speed or
Hmm.
even means to really travel across the water.
So that's what
And
I mean.
Aldane's in heavy armor, so he'd be fucked if he was in the water.
Hmm.
Yeah, I fall in, I sink.
Unless you could quickly get the armor off, which is awkward. Because then if the enemy is in the water, it could then pick you off a sealer while you've got less AC.
Yeah. So yeah, water environments are not ideal for Aldean.
But that's
Right now, at least.
But that's my point, is that, it's basically one of those two, and of the two, the Ancient White and the Forbidden Eye seems to be the better of the two choices as we are right now.
Yeah,
Get
the
the
Forbidden Ice
capital
is
at-
probably the best.
To get to the capital of Tennoyama, that's 41 days. Again, not factoring in complications.
So it's damn near as long a journey, and, for a fight that we are worse prepared for.
That you know nothing about.
Yeah.
So I guess the dragon will be level grinding for us.
More or less. But I'm here for it.
Do we have any contacts in Colonia Pole?
I mean, Drick.
Yeah, Drick seemed quite nice to us.
Yeah, so I'm thinking maybe we
And
go
the-
find him
and
and
the country,
Naya.
country leaders are willing to help you with this. They did
Hmm.
say they're willing to throw you their aid when you do come a knocking.
hey, who
It
knows?
might be
Maybe
worth-
he's got a staff of power for Felix.
It might be worth doing that call.
I might be, if I can find that Loxodon artist that was in the did a painting of the Forbidden Ice. He might have some contacts that we could use.
How would you find him? Do you even remember his name?
It's not in my book.
I don't remember.
No.
Again, because he was meant to be a one-off NPC anyway. So
Yeah.
I mean, if you remembered him, then I'd bring him back. But otherwise,
I mean, I could go back through the archives and find him, but right at this point, no, I do not remember his name.
that'd also be metagaming. So I'd have to have you make an int check to see if you even properly remember it. Because otherwise, checking back through the archives, as annoying as it would just be cheating. to remember stuff.
Can I just do it now? Because I'd rather not like check back and then do the int check and realize that I was too dumb to remember.
If you want, but that's like finding him though as well.
Yeah.
You can do it. It's just gonna be an awkward DC.
It's gonna be like a 20 DC or something.
I mean, I'm the GM. I'll decide what the DC is.
How about
Well, I'm just spitballing.
I'm
out
joking. I'm.
how about
Taking
remembering where I last saw him?
That would still be awkward because you've been a lot of places within Centralis anyway.
We do still have that painting I got from him.
Also, if you remember, even if you remember where you met him, chances are you could just live in the other end of the city.
Do we still have that painting I got from him?
You would still probably have it. It's just
Does it not have like a watermark or anything?
no.
No.
I'm gonna throw a bone and be like, you could potentially, when you would have to actually alert Drake, he could be a Chad, because he kind of is, considering how he glassed that guy in the face who was bothering you guys.
Yeah.
If you say it did this, got to here, and then Drake could potentially find a way to help you guys get across the river here, and just go like this, cutting the entire journey by several hundred miles.
I think by about a fortnight.
So only 720 would be then 30 days instead of 43. So you'd be cutting nearly an entire 2 weeks. And that's just on the way too. But that's if you're even going that way. You might want to like go above Vetman if all of you decide to overrule Daron, because this is a majority vote. You don't even have to do Dracolich Peaks. You could just like decide you're going to spend some time in Centralis and do work there. Kuro would have to find work for you. Unless you can think of a third option.
We haven't done a Dracolich piece for a while, and they do seem like they're quite important.
Out
We
of
should
character,
probably-
if you leave some for too long, they will become harder fights and potentially ruin areas that are nearby.
So we
So,
should
like-
probably work on killing some of those things.
Like, for example, if you leave, say, the one in Belvetant for too long, that could become a problem.
Wait, didn't the one-shot club clear that one?
Yeah, that's kind of the point.
Yeah, but the problem is that Pelios isn't a champion or has any sort of supernatural protection. So Pelios could already be under its corruption. As upsetting as that might be for you, Jack, you could potentially lose Pelios if things are bad for him.
Oof. That's not fun.
Weapons don't fuck around.
Which is probably why we should, try and deal with them as soon as possible. We could also, stop at the Bloodblade Orc camp and spend some time with Prody on our way up there.
You could wait. You could camp out there for a bit until you could meet with the Glavnaya people who would effectively be getting you a temporary bridge.
Hell, we might even be able to bring Prody along.
He wouldn't be able to come with. I mean, it depends on how persuasive you are of him. Instead of just having Rua as only with you guys, it could be Rua and Prody.
Yeah. My vote is the Ancient White.
Darren, what's your call?
Ancient White.
Seamus?
Let's go dragon hunting.
All right then, democracy it is. Regardless of what Aldane wants or wishes, as bad as that is to say, but there is a majority vote. Unless...
Oh wait, I actually didn't hear Aldane's vote. What was his vote?
I didn't get to vote because you guys already decided.
Unless Aldane can come up with a convincing thing for something else and change your minds.
I mean, do you have an idea, Aldane?
Well, we don't know exactly where the other Dracolich pieces are, is the issue. So we can't go hunting for them until we have a general idea as to their locations.
Yeah, the
And
only ones
that's
we
just
really
gonna
know
happen
about.
when the
The only ones we really know about are the ones in Pahola, the Forbidden Ice, and Black Rain. And to a
Well, we're
lesser
going to be
extent,
hunting the
Tenoriyama.
dragon in. Going to be hunting a dragon in Forbidden Ice anyway, so we might encounter the Dracolich piece while we're there.
No, the Ancient White Dragon has the Dracolich piece.
Oh, two birds, one stone then.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, no.
That's the only reason we're
you'd
going
go
after
into-
the Ancient White. We wouldn't be going after
no
it if it
reason-
didn't have a piece.
Yeah, if the piece was bonded to another creature, then you wouldn't even need to worry about the ancient white.
It would be
It
quite
probably
cruel
wouldn't
to
even be
just.
as active as it is.
It would be cruel to hunt it down and kill it for no reason.
Not wrong.
So,
I doubt
right
it can be reasoned with.
if you do this as well, Kuro will say as a reminder, like, if you do encounter this bear that he mentions that he fought, be careful of it. Basically, it's surprisingly fast. So if you do try to outrun it, either make use of terrain and make it so that it will have to move awkwardly, or kill it if you're lucky enough. He struggled to kill it, but that was like years ago when he was much less skilled than he is now. And he was the best person among the group that he was with when he encountered it. So you guys have like at least double the chance to be more successful than he was. Especially if you're being Prody, because the fight would be much easier.
Let's hope we run into Prody on the way over.
I feel like Prody would love. I feel like Prody would just be like, "Oh shit."
Dude, yeah, we could actually hit up his orc camp on the way up. That would be awesome. That's a great idea.
Do we have a way of just sending him a message in advance?
I can.
Don't we? Doesn't he have a
send
sending
message.
stone? We gave him a sending stone, didn't we?
No?
No, but I can like send you sending.
Oh,
Why
true.
don't you do that? Tell him we're going to be going on a dragon hunt and we're going to be heading up in that direction soon.
Will do. Let me.
And ask if he'd like to join us.
In 3
Meanwhile,
weeks.
while Mill comes up with the 25-word text or page, whatever, yeah, so bearing in mind, if you are going to do this, you will have to buy cold weather gear. So you will have to shell out a bit of money for specific cold weather gear, not even like traveler's clothes, I mean like a bit more expensive to get cold weather gear. Otherwise, you will be making con saves, and you could get hypothermia and potentially like have your character be crippled. Like, I'm not
That
being like
would be stupid.
you are
So
going up.
let's not
you are
make that
going up-
mistake.
You are going up the far north, and you are going in arguably like one of the most dangerous places in the setting. So you know, there's a reason why it's called the Forbidden Ice and not the Welcome Ice.
Alright, let's go. I feel like we're going to spend some of our downtime shopping for winter gear.
That can be like a quick day thing. We don't even have to roleplay it.
Okay, sweet.
Hero would be able to easily find you guys like a place that sells like mountain gear.
Sweet.
It's just don't forget though, just buying clothes isn't enough. You might have to like climb mountains or walls. So you'd have to get like equipment for it as well.
So is this our downtime period?
Yeah, we're going into downtime now.
Okay, cool.
Mill, have you come up with your message yet?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
Don't forget, it doesn't have to use all 25 words.
No, it's definitely using all 25 words.
And also, don't forget hyphen. You can't just do one long hyphenated bit
I know.
and call it one word. It's not like ice cream, where it's like most people consider that a single word on its own, really.
I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream.
25, exactly. Awesome.
Read it out, my dude.
In 3 weeks, we'll be heading to Forbidden Ice to fight Ancient White Dragon for Draco Lich Peace with Rua. Can we visit and wanna come?
Almost instantaneously, you get a reply saying, he doesn't actually say, I was eating something while I said that.
Would be
You
a
hear
waste of
him
a word.
you hear him say, I can join. Can't wait to help you guys. See you soon.
I send another one back basically saying, awesome, we leave in 3 weeks, we'll message when we get near.
You get another reply saying, okay, we'll make sure to prepare. Already have cold weather gear. Hope you guys are well stocked for the journey.
Cool, so we got Prody along as well.
Sweet! Now we got a
Neato.
nice
gonna-
squad.
Just gonna drag him over here for now. Nice. Downtime activities. I'm gonna make a roll to see you goes first.
Before we start, can we take a quick restroom break?
Yeah, that's fine.
Figured this is a good point to do it.
I need to use the loo anyway, so it's fine.
Hey,
With that, I'll be right back.
as will I.
Uh, 15. How much is an ink bottle again? Because, hey, I'm well aware we're not going to be going near any, stationery shops, so I'm going to stock up on ink. Ink bottle, ink bottle, ink bottle. That's bottle. 10 gold. So another 15 would be 150. Easily doable. Oops. Or 900. That means I have 20 spares. That's always good. So yeah, Forbidden Ice. Forbidden Ice. That's gonna go wonderfully, I'm sure. Yeah, this is a journey where we're really gonna miss the MVP. I wonder if we can get another horse. Maybe shorten the journey a little bit. Shame I couldn't remember that Loxodon's name. I don't think I wrote it down. Did I write it down? Is anyone back yet?
Yep.
Hmm.
I am here.
Good.
I just had to grab myself a beer.
Fair enough.
What time is it over in England right now?
Just gone past 7 p.m.
Oh yeah. So it's a good time for a drink then.
I don't actually drink alcohol, so
Oh. Well, good on you. It's probably a healthy choice.
I've returned.
What up?
Good.
So,
Just now that you're doing this, actually, I'm going to tell you. Is everyone here actually for this?
I don't think so.
I don't think Jack's back yet.
Or again.
I'll wait
Yeah.
until they return then, because it's a bit of an actual announcement in the campaign and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh.
So who is Sisava? I've got their name in my book, but I can't remember who they are.
Do you have context? Because I can't remember who Sisava is.
All I know is that they are underneath Ration's name in my book.
Oh, is that the name of the satyr?
Might be. Oh yeah, I think it is.
Oh!
Might be.
That's a bitch name for a bitch.
Hmm. Also Krogal. Who might Krogal be?
One of the Minotaur that we got in a fight with at the party.
No, this seems far too early on. It's like before I wrote down the ambassadors' names.
Oh shit.
Oh, that might
Then
have
I
been one
wouldn't
of the one-off NPCs that you spoke to.
Hmm.
That like has no important.
Fair enough.
So maybe it is that artist.
Probably not.
I mean, if you don't have the actual name for them, no. It's fine anyway. I'm just messaging my friend about something. A friend of mine, while we wait. Also,
By the way, is Rua coming with us to the Forbidden
Yeah.
Ice, or is...
Yeah.
Esther is.
Ooh, nice. So now we got a team of 6. That's sick.
Yes, which means encounters will be made more difficult to balance.
Yeah, it's gonna take longer for the turn order to go through. It's gonna be kind of annoying, but you know, it is what it is.
Combat can be fun I feel like if you're really invested in what's going on, though.
That's true.
Like, I feel like as long as everyone makes meaningful and impactful choices in the combat, I feel like it can be fun. Because I mean, look at the tournament. There was a lot
That's
going
true.
on, but like you all did like very impactful things.
I think where it gets like a little boring is when there's the positioning battle going on, when people are just like moving just out of range of shit, and like it's like a little dance for a while, and there's like a
that.
chase.
I love just being annoying and like trying to move around and stuff whenever I've been a player.
Yeah,
But it's fine.
I like to just stay in one place and just fire off spells.
I'm looking forward to this. This is something I've had planned for a while now. Is Jack here? I think I saw his green circle light up. Yeah, it's him.
Jack, 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 to Jack, Jack, Jack. Pick up the fucking phone.
It's fine.
Alright.
So now we're just waiting for Genny Boy.
Excuse me.
You're excused. Also, actually, for the sake of this, I posted in the chat actually how much the cold weather clothes will cost.
Okay.
Just for the sake of easement, if you want, I'd actually recommend you check the sites we use, the resource we use for our information, not giving it away. For actual gear, what you would need to, what you would want as well. Like, say if you want extra bits of rope or anything else you want.
Well, I've already bought even more reserve ink bottles, so
Because like, if you if you ever have to climb a mountain and you don't have the gear for it, it's going to make things incredibly hard if like you don't have anything like that. For example, like ice picks or whatever.
Hmm.
Right. So this is how much cold weather clothes cost.
Oh, hey guys, listen to this meme real quick. Your first character is a noble paladin seeking justice, i.e., Aldane. But while your fifth character may be a snake with 100 mage hands.
No, one of my most recent character that one of my most recent characters as a player is a paladin that fights for justice.
Well, I
I've been
know,
playing
but
for
it's just
years. I know, I get the point.
yeah, you get more adventurous or whatever. I feel like I'd go in that direction.
question: Will we have
Darren's
another? Will we have another like horse and cart, or will we be walking?
You'll be given a horse and cart,
Oh, thank God.
but you will have. You
It's
will
just
probably
not
have.
the same without the MVP.
You will probably have to. You will have to ditch it for when you get near to the Forbidden Ice, though, because like the weather won't be really good for it,
Yeah.
Hmm.
and
It'll be like the Tauntaun in episode 5.
This rain will be too bad that like it will actually be a hindrance to have it.
Yeah.
So do make sure if you're taking stuff with you, you can leave stuff behind, and because I will again like carrying capacity can be a thing.
We
But
have
anyway.
a bag of holding, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's still a limit, even if you did have one.
We do have one.
So yeah, now that Genzia, announcement. Now that you have chosen this path in the story, I've mentioned this to you guys. My friend who is going to be playing his guest character will be joining soonish.
Cool.
Not in this
Nice.
session. Not in this session. It depends on how fast you make to your destination, though. But you will be having a temporary party member for who knows how long.
Nice.
I believe it up to them if they want to spoil the surprise, but I'm not saying what their character is at all until you meet them at the very least on my end. But again, like I've said before, though, this is one of the people I first ever played D&D with, and they're also my GM on Saturdays, so I do trust them to not be a dick. I've messaged them earlier on about saying that you guys are heading to where he is, and I'm going to be inviting them to the server soon. And at some point, when we all can on our own time, if we can all join a call, so you can all get to know each other.
Yeah.
They are fine with the campaign being streamed, and they're fine with the time as well to join.
Good.
But that's for later. For now, though, downtime for 3 weeks. I'm going to make a roll to see who goes first. Again, what is Darren doing during the 3 weeks?
So I wanted to do two things. Check in with Sora about investments, and then also, since we're gonna go hunting, trying building up a stockpile of poisons.
Okay. So the Sora thing can be very quick. I won't even count that as any part of the downtime, really, because it could just be done after you guys like split off right now, today in the session before.
Would anyone want to join me to meet Sora?
I would.
Rue would be doing his own thing. During the downtime, he would be training with his grandfather and doing stuff like that. And that's something.
Rue is coming with us, right?
Yes.
Why he's training?
What's that, Jack?
Probably why he's training.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like he doesn't really have the experience you guys do. This is more flavorful, but like the stuff behind it as well, in the background. But yeah, so if you're going to Sora, You don't find Sora. You do find Hannah, however, but she is able to give you the payment, and you gain back. Let me make a roll. Not that tab. That's the travel calculator. You gain 3,000 gold as per your investment.
Holy shit.
That's a lot of cash.
Well, Darren did put a bit of a hefty sum anyway, didn't they?
Mm.
Yeah, that's a. I think I put in like a 2,000 or something.
Not like that.
I would like to also put in about. I'm gonna give about half of that back.
Okay.
To do further investment.
All right. That might be a
Actually,
bad thing. It's up to you.
Kaido, quick question. Remind me, how much? Do you remember how much the tattoo was?
Fuck. That was quite a bit. I remember, like a good few thousand gold.
I want to say it was like 7,000. Like
Yeah, I
that,
think it was quite expensive.
which I'm happy to pay. It's just I need to know how much it is, so I can.
I'll go with what you just said, 7,000. I actually can't remember that. I don't know why my notes have not got it. I'm sure I wrote that down, but c'est la vie. Yeah. What
So
cost it?
how about this? I will give 1,000 to Hannah.
Okay. And you're gonna keep the rest.
Should leave me with 7,130 gold.
Don't forget cold weather clothes do cost 10 quid, 10 pounds, 10 gold pieces though as well.
Right. So I'm gonna give 7,000 for the.
And that's also not factoring in any actual equipment you want to buy as well.
Mm.
I'll trust the other guys to help cover that cost for me while I
Also,
get this. I think this tattoo will be helpful.
because I know you want poison stuff, right?
Right, but I do want to do this put the 7,000 in.
That will take time to even do. This will cost. I'm going to make a roll to see how long it will actually take of your downtime. Because you will have to make multiple visits. Because they won't be able to do it all in one go. So you're in luck. The tattoo parlor's schedule is mostly free. So they would be able to do it within a week.
All right, and I genuinely forgot what was the the power that I wanted with the tattoo.
I think it was a spell, wasn't it?
Was it Misty Step?
Yeah. I remember it being Misty Step, actually. So for a once-a-day use of Misty Step, yeah. So throughout the whole week, yeah, for the first week you are able to eventually, at the end of it, gain a tattoo of Misty Step. It
Now,
recharges.
are
at
those
the
kind
end
of tattoos one-time things, or
What do you mean?
like a Misty Step tattoo? Would that be a one-time thing, or is it?
It doesn't go away. Like after
It's
the
a once a
use.
day.
Ah,
It's just that you effectively would have a limited number of these that you could do. At maximum, I'd say you could only have 5. 1 for each limb, and then on your upper body.
maybe I should get a
And
tattoo
it
like
would
that.
cost progressively more for more tattoos.
How much does one tattoo cost?
It depends on the spell and the level.
And the effect.
Actual
Yeah.
attacking spells would cost the most unless it's a really useful utility spell, like Misty Step.
And I think Darren needs. Having Misty Step on Darren would be actually really.
Misty Step on Darren sounds like tax. I approve.
But yeah, like. But anyway, that's Darren's first week. Do you actually even have a poisonous kit? Because I know you've got the proficiency, but do you have the actual item?
Hold on, I think I.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I do.
So if you want to get and make some poisons, are you actually making it yourself, or are you looking for resources as well?
I'm
Just
gonna
look-
make it myself.
Because if you try and look for resources, there's a chance of you being able to make better poisons, but that will cost and take a
Yeah,
time.
I just don't have the cash for that, so I'm gonna make it myself.
Give me 4 poisoners kit checks. Going
which
off
stat?
hint, because this requires your knowledge of poisons. Nice. Even better. Not terrible. Oh, you
Oof.
peaked early. So for the first week, you are very successful. You are able to make... I keep clicking the wrong fucking tab. I should really swap places of the tabs. So, you are able to make 5 small bottles worth of oil, poison. Let me just check the thing. Yeah, so if you actually find the basic poison, you are able to make 4 of those. You would need to find the vials though, or get some if you don't already have any, and that would cost you. But a vial is literally 1 gold piece.
Yeah, so that's fine. What's the basic poison? Sorry.
Yeah, that's the basic poison. Basic poison is a D40 or damage with the weapon. Again, you're not looking for any specific things, you know, like to make it better. But I will say, with the skill of the checks, the DC is instead of 10, it is 13.
And I have 5 of those, right?
Or no, yeah, it said 5, didn't I? 5. Second week, however, unfortunately, it's not great. Turns out in your rush to make poisons, you end up using a bit too much of your stuff, so you kind of had to make do with what you had left, and so it was quite a challenge. You only gain let me roll. You only gain effectively half a vial's worth.
Okay.
So that's your week. Now we're going to see who goes next. Darren again. Reroll. Felix.
So first things first, is there anywhere that can make the satyr horn that I have into a dagger?
You could find a smith's place, or you can either go to a smith, or you could find a expert, in quotes, that could make it into something a bit more specialized and probably would be more, what's the word, willing to take it.
I would like to go for that choice.
If you took it to a straight up smiths, you would have to persuade them as to how you've got it and why they should do it if you don't satisfy them.
You mean they won't accept that I took it off a satyr after the leader of Kolodniapol glassed him?
Yeah, because you'd have to make them believe that as well.
But yes, I will find an expert.
An expert would mean you would have to have someone be a contact for you, unless you want to look for it yourself. If you look for it yourself, it will take time. But if you try and find a contact, you would have to see if you can even get hold of them for that time. So there's pros and cons to both. If you look for it yourself, it means you're not relying on someone else to have a margin for error. But then the margin of error is solely on you, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Dealer's choice, because I know you like gambling.
I don't like gambling. It's just amusing to imagine Felix gambling.
So yeah, are you doing it yourself or are you getting a contact?
I'm gonna get a contact.
So, probably the easiest contact you know, probably Cammy. She does seem to know a lot about the city.
Mm-hmm.
I'll make a roll to see how available Cammy is. Very available, with a nat 20 on the dice.
Goody.
So she's able to do it without delay. Sorry, it's a pause. I just heard a yell. I think it was something inconsequential, I'm hoping. Anyway, so you find one immediately. She actually leads you to where it is, but of course she's silent throughout the whole time.
I just imagine Felix chattering away while Cammy says nothing.
Cammy's just looking straight ahead.
Yeah.
Not even like looking at you.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Not because she's being rude. You can insight see if she's even paying attention.
No, Felix doesn't mind.
So she leads you to a specialist who basically, I'm not coming up with a name because I'm
That's
tired
fair.
and
That's
I don't want
fair.
to waste any more extra effort on stuff that both of us might end up forgetting.
Mm-hmm.
So she takes you to a specialist who says it will take him a week to do this, no questions asked. And you want the actual thing to be a dagger, the actual horn itself?
Yes.
That will cost a bit. He can have it make a potentially special effect.
What kind of special effects?
It depends on how. Because this is the first time he's ever had to make a horn into a dagger.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the first time they've been able to do this. So it depends. All you know is that it definitely will not be a negative. This will cost you extra though. And you're already having to pay extra anyway because this is like a special dagger.
That's fine. How much will it cost?
If you want just a normal dagger, this will cost 10 gold. And normally it's 2 gold.
Okay. Special effects?
If you want it to have a special effect, that's up to you how much you want to put in. The higher the money, the more likely it is it will be a good effect compared to just something that might be decent or like okay. The cap I'm saying is 2,000 gold.
That's fine. Probably wasn't going to go that high anyway. Just as an aside, how much do potions of greater healing cost in Centralis?
A greater healing potion is normally an uncommon magical item, which would mean price is 5e. No, not Kassoon, because Kassoon is completely awful. Uncommon magical items are normally 100 to 500. I'll make a roll. That's unlucky for you. Unfortunately, the only place you can find that is actually doing them, because they're not usually something that comes up often,
Yeah.
you'd have to pay a full 500,
Ooh.
and there's only 3 you can buy. And that's before haggling.
Okay then. So I give this expert 613 gold.
613.
Yes.
Oddly specific.
I have my
He
reasons.
nods. He nods, and he actually does comment on the specific price, seemingly approving the specific amount. So yeah, that's that.
Okay.
You will be notified by the next week when it is ready to pick up.
Cool.
What else are you doing for the rest of your time?
Uh,
Because I'd say that would technically be like half a week,
mhm.
and I would allow some things to be done for like half a week's time. But it would usually be like quick asides and not anything of like massive consequence, I'd say.
Well, can I haggle for these potions of greater healing?
I'd say that would be the second half of the week then. To
Yep, that's
find
fine.
someone.
That's absolutely fine.
Give me a persuasion roll.
I do have proficiency.
No, sadly the price hasn't shifted. They are adamant on 500 each for one of the three, unless you want all three.
I'll take 2.
So that'd be 1,000 gold.
Yep.
So you now have 2 greater healing potions. That is 44 plus 4.
I'm going into this as prepared as I can.
No, I mean, greater healing potions are, well, great.
Mm.
The clue's in the name.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah, I
that's
think
that.
I have the least gold out of anyone in the party.
Not anymore.
I mean, if it helps, I'm normally a compulsive hoarder. At this point, I probably would have had, like, gold in the 10,000s. Unless something really caught my eye. But that's just me as a person.
I'm trying to break my habits.
To be fair, I did my paladin that I play in Fridays, like, spent 50,000 gold. No, was it? Yeah, 50,000 gold on an orphanage to buy a fucking noble's estate. But that anyway.
Yeah, but yeah, 2 things. A, I can't spend gold if I'm dead. And B, carrying all this gold around is what's taking up most of my carrying capacity.
You could leave it at home. Because what you could do is write an actual note of it that isn't counted in your inventory, and then just deduct the money, so then the carrying capacity is removed. Because I'd say it would only be carrying capacity when you're actually keeping it on your person.
I probably
Like
will leave
Dairon.
the rest of it behind once we go, but, you know,
Like
take it
if
out.
you put it in your bio under
Yeah.
the treasure
Yeah.
section.
But as I
Just say
said,
the amount.
again, can't spend gold if I'm dead. Would prefer to keep
Yeah, so
myself
that's-
safe.
So that's your first week. What's the last 2 weeks? The second 2.
Painting and like as a
Of anything in particular?
sites that I've seen. So there'll definitely be 1 or 2 of the Almiraj. Seeing I've got that written down.
If you wanted to, you could look for a place where you could find a book that actually has it. Like a reference, other
Well-
than just the quick sketch you did.
Yeah.
Because if you're going directly from the sketch, the DC would be much higher to make it good. Whereas if you can find like a biology book or something that has it, you would have a good frame of reference.
I do have.
'Cause then you could know.
I do
'cause then
already
you could
have
have
a,
like.
I do already have a book
'cause
of
they-
nature.
Because you do. Yeah, but Almiraj is a feign nature.
Fair enough. Thought I'd try it. Yeah, I'll go find a book.
So there is a library, the Library of Centralis, one of the most well known in the land. You go to the person at the desk, and there is a section on Fae-related creatures. Because of this, I would say give me an investigation check to find one that has what you're looking for, or of good quality. Because there is a lot of Fae-related books, it's just... 14, I'd say you easily find one. Almiraj isn't exactly like fucking top tier, like incredibly hard. It's not like you're looking for a unicorn.
Yeah, most
I mean,
most
it's
of
a
these
unicorn rabbit,
yeah,
but
most
you know,
most of these books are A to Z, and Almiraj is near the start.
you find a book on lesser Fae related creatures. And you do find an Almiraj. It has a few various poses of it.
Mhm.
One where it's like straight on, one at the side, and one even has its anatomy. And it even mentions like various behaviors it would have that might help you in like coming up with a good pose for it. With the book, that does give you a bonus to the DC to make a painter's check for this.
Cool.
I would say 2 checks for 1 week.
Okay.
And another 2 if you want to do that for the last one as well, for the 3rd week. Right?
Better.
So at first, you're not used to doing stuff without it actually being there, I'd say.
Yeah.
So it's a bit awkward. But by the second half of the week, you get used to it very easily. And it helps that you find someone while you're reading who actually gives you more in-depth advice about what you could do for an Almirage to make it look right.
Mm-hmm.
So by the second half of the second week, you have a very good-looking drawing of an Almirage. It is very cute. It is very nice. Good on. What about the last week?
Keep painting. And has the Satyr Horn been done by now?
You would have been notified about the Satyr Horn. So, I'm going to make a roll to see what happens. Actually, you know what? We'll make this public. D100. High or low? Mill.
Low.
Lucky you. And the closer it is to a 1 is much better.
Good.
So, he actually tells you, because of the residual energy of the Fey magic from the Satyr Horn, it actually has Fey-related abilities.
Sounds cool.
This dagger... let me just check something, because now I actually have to look at satyrs.
If you say it makes cutting through fingers easier, then,
What?
I don't know what I'll do, but I'll do something.
Once a day, you, as a reaction, when you have to make a saving throw related against magical effects, you can choose to have advantage on it.
Sounds awesome.
This does count as an attunement slot, however.
Right.
The dagger is also magical in nature, so it bypasses resistances. But it's not +1, it's just a normal dagger.
Yeah.
But yeah, there you go. I'll leave it up to you, whatever you want to call it. Just remember, you can have magical resistance once a day, effectively, as a reaction. Yeah, there you go. And if you're doing general painting, just give me 2 more painter's checks. So you look at various things around the city to give you various muses. One particular instance is of a... you see Guy getting chewed out by a child because he scared him by accident.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
And he looks quite upset. It's quite a pathetic look for Guy. And that's the painting you get. The sad guy, or whatever you want to title it as. Next, here we go. Aldane, downtime. Give it to me.
First couple weeks, I think I'm going to be doing. I'm going to finish off my investigation training so I can get. Yeah, I have 2 weeks left of training to get my investigation proficiency, so I'm going to do that.
Okay. So once you've finally finished it, you are now proficient, and you also, as a reward, Cammy gives you a small applause. It's probably the first time you've ever seen her clap. She is beaming with pride, as much as a realistic-faced looking chameleon woman can beam with pride. And she's just nods in respect. Last week,
Gonna be doing stuff around the city. Errands, like picking up the winter supplies.
what are you getting exactly?
I'm going to be getting climbing gear, winter clothing, and snow boots.
I assume all of you are getting winter clothing, and snow boots would be included with the winter clothes.
Okay, well, I'd also be
That's
getting
why-
climbing
that's why-
gear and
That's why it's 10 gold, because it's like snow boots and all that good shit.
so yeah. So the winter clothing plus climbing gear and winter camping gear. You know, like insulated tents and such.
Yeah. So, let me just check. So if you want, like, they do actually sell packs that you can get. You can just, like, get a full pack of, you can get a Dungeoneer's pack, which gives you a backpack, a crowbar, a hammer, 10 pythons. A python is those,
Things you
How
stick
to
in the rock as
describe
you're
them.
climbing.
yeah. It's the metal spikes that you drive into cracks and stuff and you
Yeah.
put rope through it and shit. So you could get 10 of them. Gets you a tinderbox, 50 feet of hempen rope, and you would have an extra water skin. And 10 torches. So just Dungeoneer's pack, literally.
Okay, I'll add that to my inventory. How much does that cost?
That is 12 gold for Dungeoneer's pack.
Alright,
So
so
all
cold
of the
weather
content.
clothes and Dungeoneer's pack.
Just copy, paste however you want to do the Dungeoneer's pack. Because I don't believe actually copying the pack straight from Roll20 actually gives you the contents like it shows.
No, I don't think so.
So you would have to individually do it, but as long as you know what's inside, there you go.
Okay. I'll work on that in a minute. So that's 22 gold total.
hmm
Alright. Now, how much do those magic tattoos cost?
What do you want to get exactly?
I'm trying to think of a spell I want, because there's a lot of different spells that I can choose from.
You can get spells outside of your class, which is why Daron was allowed to even get spells.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm
But
looking through my bookmarks
outside
to
of-
try to find
Outside
stuff.
of your class, costs more. The only reason Daron was technically allowed Misty Step is because Daron could have been an arcane trickster, and arcane tricksters can get Misty Step.
Okay. So how much does it cost outside of your class? Like, what's the bump up?
It depends, honestly, it really depends on how strong the spell is. Because, for example, you could want, say, fucking, like...
Hunter's Mark.
Yeah, like, you could... Well, yes, actually, because that's technically not a proper paladin spell, which would cost more. Because of how useful Hunter's Mark is, it would be a bit of a premium.
Alright.
It's a lower level than Misty Step, so it would cost less than what Daron paid, but it would still cost a fair bit.
I'd probably stick to a first or second level spell because I don't want to go too high.
I will actually say out of character, you can only cast with these tattoos at the level you can actually cast in terms of spell level.
Okay. Does it use up a spell slot?
No. But it is once a day.
Makes sense. Otherwise, it'd be a bit too broken.
Yeah, so you can't get a ninth. I mean, even if you could feasibly get a 9th level tattoo, the whole party, like, you would not be able to use it. It would be a dead thing.
Yeah.
And also, it would be very hard for them to do that, and it would potentially take maybe even a year of time. So yeah.
Sorry,
what
I'm
you wanna
looking through
do
all the first level spells on 5e tools. That's a lot.
on the first of what? Sorry, I didn't know what you
I'm
said.
just looking through
Don't-
first level
Mm.
spells.
Yeah, there you go. On our legal.
Would I be able to
so-
get a cantrip one?
Yeah, you could. They'd cost a lot less.
Oh, that's actually a good idea then.
And I would technically allow cleric spells to be the base options that would cost less, only because paladins can get cleric cantrips as per a fighting style.
You should get EB.
That would cost a fair bit, but yeah, that would be a nice one. It's up to him.
I'm gonna get EB too.
I mean, you already can get it with your training that you're doing.
How much would Eldritch Blast cost me?
Because it's arguably one of the best cantrips, it will actually cost probably the most out of any other cantrip. So I would
But-
say, I'm gonna make a roll. High or low?
Hi. Fuck.
It isn't. It's basically even if it was 50 or 51, for example, like 51 or like 49, the price wouldn't change at all. Like the farther away you are doesn't change the price. It's just will it cost more or less. So don't worry. You're not going to be
Okay.
paying through. You'll pay quite a bit, but you're not going to pay even more otherwise. It's not that kind of thing. Anyway,
I'm still trying to decide what to get though, because
I would-
there's a lot.
if you did get Eldritch Blast, the quote would be 2,000 gold.
I do not have 2,000 gold. I have
And
a
this is
tenth
all
of that.
in. This is all in at once. No installments or an IOU.
Yeah, no, I have a tenth of that.
Yeah.
Jesus.
You're paying at least 1,000 gold or 500 at best if it's within your class. And it's not an incredible cantrip. Like, say if you wanted Thaumaturgy, because clerics can get that, the quote would be about 700 gold. No, not
Jesus.
700, because Thaumaturgy isn't incredible. No, yeah, 700, because Thaumaturgy does have a lot of uses.
Yeah, I only have 200 gold.
Yeah, you're not
so...
gonna be able to get anything. You are
Well,
too poor.
Too poor. That's a
ironic.
noble.
I think I'm going to invest some money then.
Into what? Oh, do you mean you're just gonna save?
Well, I'm gonna put some money into gonna go over to Sora's place and invest some money
He's
there.
not taking it. He doesn't take. If you do go there, you'll find out they're not taking anything less than 1,000.
Fucking hell.
Don't be so poor.
I'd say if you go to one more place, this will use up part of the week because you would be having to like check various resources and like, yeah.
All right.
There's always the
One more-
fighting pits.
One more thing to make it count.
Yeah, you know what? Let's screw it. Let's go fight clubbing.
Jesus.
Now I have to fucking check that. It's fine. Pit fighting. This will be your entire week.
Oh,
Uh,
seriously?
The entire week, yeah. The character must make a series of checks with a DC determined at random based on quality of opposition that the character runs into. A big part of the challenge lies in the unknown nature of the opponents. You must make 3 checks: athletics, acrobatics, and a special constitution check that is a bonus equal to a roll of the character's largest hit dice, which would just be d10.
Mm-hmm.
If desired, a character can replace one of these skill checks with an attack roll using one of the weapons. So you can just attack instead and do that.
Okay, so what do you want me to roll first then?
Uh,
Good.
well, strength and or acrobatics or attacks.
You mean athletics?
Athletics, yeah.
All right,
If you
I'm
can
gonna
do that,
roll.
and then...
I'm gonna roll athletics and 2 attacks.
Well, no, it's athletics, attack, and then con check. You can't
Okay,
replace the con check, sadly.
Okay, I'll do that then.
Or you said it doesn't look like you can. But anyway, so good athletics. Now attack with whichever weapon of your choice. Good attack. That's nearly a crit. Very nice. So, okay. The DC for each of the checks, is 5 plus D10.
I'm going to wager that I beat all of them.
5 plus 2d10. Sorry.
Oh, 2d10.
Yeah, my fault. $11 was the roll I got. The DC for the checks is a separate DC for each one. So 11 for the athletics, 22 for the attack, and 12 for the con check.
So I passed all of them.
You passed with flying colours.
Yeah,
So you win,
2d10 plus 5 wouldn't have beaten my attack roll anyways.
so you win 200 gold pieces.
Nice.
I'm gonna make a roll, however. Public
To
roll.
determine if Rash can bet on me in the pits.
There is no complication. You win with flying colours, and you make a bit of a name for yourself. You get a bit of a fan club going, who you get people regularly taking bets.
Nice.
You get very happy visitors to the fight pit. So yeah, and now last but not least, the Schmo himself, Seamus.
Ah,
Yeah. You know what it is. I am going to finish learning Eldritch Blast to start.
How much time do you have left?
I think it was just 2 weeks.
Alright, you do need to find your trainer if you are going back to her.
Yeah.
The
So
warlock.
what?
Do you remember her name?
No.
Give me an int check.
Here we go.
'Cause if you can't remember her name, then you would have to find someone completely new. And that would take up time.
I think that's not bad.
That'll be nice. I'll see you remember her, just barely.
Uh-huh.
It does take some time to actually find her. So I'd say it wouldn't be enough time that, like... I'd say it'd be half the week to find her. Because you've not seen her in ages.
Alright.
So you would have... So you do find her, you are able to do the training. You do complete your training, and now you have Eldritch Blast as a cantrip learnt.
Yeet. So then that
and now-
leaves me with like a half a week left, right?
Yeah, for like a small activity.
So I think what I'll do is I'm gonna spend like I guess a day to go purchase supplies and everything, like
Yeah,
the
that's-
winter clothing, and I'm also gonna get that Dungeoneer pack.
I'd assume
You
you
guys
would
would-
all have done like at least the winter clothes.
Yeah. Do I have to add that to my inventory, the winter clothes thing?
Yeah, you'd have to make it a separate item. But yeah,
There we
and
go.
again, if you're buying the Dungeoneer pack, that's 12 gold as well for that.
12 gold, and so that's a total of what, 22 gold?
Yeah.
Cool.
I assume everyone at minimum has got cold weather clothes, or otherwise you would actually not be allowed to go on the Forbidden Ice unless you are very, like, convincing to the coloured Neopole people. And mostly just because, you know, it's suicidal otherwise.
Factamundo.
You'd actually be making con checks at disadvantage, and the DC would be nasty.
Oh god, no. Yeah.
You would actually be taking damage even while you rested.
And
No.
then if I got like what 4 days left or something like that.
Yeah, you could do like, say, watching Rua and his granddad training, for example.
Yeah, or I could perform somewhere for a few days, see if I can get any money.
You wouldn't gain money, not without a full week.
Okay, never mind then. So then I'll just watch Rue and his dad train. Maybe get in on a couple of sessions if I can.
Yeah, if you want to do that, okay. Give me, I'll allow an athletics or acrobatics.
All right, let me see. I got better modifier on acrobatics, so
I
let's do
can
that.
imagine. Very well. So you actually keep up quite nicely with Rua.
Yeah.
You can tell he's not got the fighting experience that you do, which helps. But you can tell he was trained quite well by his dad before he vanished. And in because this would be the last week, you can tell even in the few weeks alone, he is already like catching up very nicely in terms of just skill alone.
Nice.
Yeah, that's all done. Thank fuck. That was very draining.
I'm glad my bit was quick, at least.
It's all good. I'm not blaming any of you. Imagine doing role playing in a role playing game. Crazy,
I know,
am
right?
I right?
By the way,
Yes.
I know since I'm not really a full spellcaster, I don't think I'd be able to train cantrips unless I got a tattoo of it, right?
It would take longer.
Hmm. Good to know.
It would take longer, unfortunately. But hey,
I figured as
who
much.
knows? Well, as the final week dawns, you all make your way to the entrance of the city. You four with Rua in tow. You are given a new horse. Don't forget to re-up your resources, everyone, if you already haven't.
I almost
Oh.
forgot. I wanted to try to buy some healing potions as well, if I could.
As
Yeah,
did
you'd be
I.
allowed to. Yeah, you all of you could if you wanted.
Oh, I've already
much is
bought
it per healing
five potion of
potion?
healings.
What did
But
you
how
say?
much does it cost per potion?
For a standard healing potion, give me a sec.
Oh yeah, they
normal-
also have potion of greater healing, right?
That's a 500 gold.
Oof.
And the place that Felix points you to.
There's also only one left, so.
I mean, doesn't mean you can't share.
And then how much are the regular ones?
I'm trying to find it. Potion of healing is common. Let me make a roll. 100 gold.
Okay, so I'm gonna spend 1,000 gold, and I'm gonna get I'm gonna get the one potion of greater healing, and then I'm gonna get 5 potions of lesser, just like the regular potions of healing.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. The shopkeeper
that's-
greatly appreciates the business.
Or actually, before I commit to that though, I'm gonna try to negotiate the price down.
Okay, persuasion.
Can I? Yeah.
Let me make a
I love
Okay.
persuasion so much because that plus 10 modifier.
They are willing to negotiate the price down to...
Because I'm buying in bulk.
No, because you made... They appreciate the business that Felix brought in.
Mm-hmm.
So they are willing to negotiate the price down from 100 to 75 per potion for the common ones, the normal ones.
Mm-hmm.
The greater healing potion will not be budged, however. That would have to be
Okay,
its
so that's
own
500.
That would have to be its own separate check.
Okay. So then that'd be 375 for 5 of them.
Mm-hmm.
So that would put me at 875 gold.
Yeah.
That actually works out perfectly because I have 1875, so now I have exactly 1,000 gold left.
Nice. Yeah, you have a lot of healing potions. Here's hoping they don't freeze and become unusable in the forbidden ice.
Oh, why the fuck you gotta talk like that?
I mean, if you're keeping them in like bags, it should be fine.
Yeah. Now, is Potion of Greater Healing something I have to draw from the compendium, or is it something I can just put on my inventory?
You probably have to add it separately because I don't think it has the stronger healing potions.
Okay, that's fine. No, I just wasn't sure.
Yeah, only has just the standard healing potion. But that's fine. Don't forget it's 4d4 plus 4 for the greater healing potion.
Mm-hmm.
4d4 plus 4.
And Jack, you wanted to buy some potions?
I'm going to try haggling down on a single healing potion.
Okay, persuasion.
I don't have a lot of money, okay? Fucking hell!
They refuse to budge. Not because it's a nat 1, but because the DC was 12.
Fuck.
Damn, you got plus 10 on persuasion too, though? That's pretty sick. Attaboy.
Because it's like 1. It's like you're haggling for 1 drink, you know. It'd be different if it was like Seamus who bought multiple.
I don't have a lot of gold.
So yeah, 100. Cough up if you want it.
I did. I'll cough it up.
Good. You've got a standard healing potion. Anyone else wants to do any buying?
I'm just getting cold water here, but that's 30 gold, you said?
It's the if cloves plus Dungeoneer's pack is 22 gold total.
Can I get like a little can I get like not necessarily magical, just like fancy?
Cold weather cloves?
Yeah, just like fashionable stuff.
Give me a persuasion check and an investigation check to see if you can get anything like that. Investigation first and then persuasion, because you have to go to a different place than everyone else is going for that. Good investigation, but then persuasion to like... Okay, you find a place that does nice, like very nice looking presentable cold weather clothes. It will cost more.
Okay.
It's 20 gold for just the cold weather clothes to look better. Because they're having to like customize it. Like this, for example, would be before you even start the downtime, I'd say, for flavor.
Yeah, for sure.
Sense. So yeah, 20 gold for just that if you want it. Are you?
Oh yeah, no, I'm paying that extra.
Yeah, you get nice cold weather clothes. Or fine cold weather clothes, actually, because fine clothes are a thing. Anyway, so as you all make your way to the entrance, you are met by Kurogane, who gives you the horse and carts. Let me just sort something out. As, yeah, you have your horse and carts. Rua is with you, of course. He is kitted out as well, nicely enough. So that isn't an issue.
Oh yes, we should probably say goodbye to all our friends and family who are here before we go.
I assume you would have done it already, because
Yes.
it would be too late now, because it's like, if you're really going to waste any more time, then anything
No, we've
could
done.
change.
I'd just say I've done it already.
So you all say goodbye to whoever you want to say goodbye to. Akira is actually there to meet you guys off. And he will come to help you guys out and rescue you if you take too long and don't actually keep in contact.
Good to know.
Otherwise, though, yeah, that's
I assume
all
we have
thing.
a sending stone for Akira.
You still have your sending stone that, like,
Yeah.
is a better one, I remember.
We will definitely try to send before we engage in combat with the ancient whites, if possible.
Okay then. I'm just sorting your thing out. So yeah, as you get ready to prepare to leave, yeah, you make your way along to the cart. Again, I assume it's Dayron and Seamus who are doing the sitting at the front, right?
Yep.
Okay. Right then. Give me the appropriate checks. Animal handling, land vehicles. That's a very nice land vehicles check. That's not a great animal handling. So, the horse is quite difficult. It's only because of Daron's sheer skill that the travel time isn't actually extended. Lucky. Yeah, the horse is not a fan of any of you. But it doesn't matter because Daron rolled so well. So you make your way along. You leave the city that you know so well, Centralis, and yeah, you make your way along. Okay then. So I'm going to change the music. Let me see. Do I want this song? Well, I don't know yet because it's a Coca-Cola advert in the way. Nope. God damn it. Is this the one? No, this would create weird implications. Yeah, we'll go with this one. Fuck it. Let me clear the track. Fuck! I'm so cringe. Anyway, ignore all. So, there we go. So, as you make your way along, I'm gonna make a roll for the weather. Actually, no, sorry. Who wants to roll a D100?
Nose goes.
I'll leave your fate in your hands.
I'll do it.
Come on again. Oh, 25. Right, very
We
interesting.
meet the Black Knight once more.
Oh God, please no.
So, as you make your way along, I'm going to move you to your favorite map.
Oh boy.
Let me drag you over to here. To probably one of the most signature spots in the campaign, I'd say, at this point.
I'm keeping an eye out.
Oh, hi, Ruth.
I'm keeping an eye out for the night.
The Black Knight. I assume you'd be doing perception checks anyway to keep a watch out.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to do perception checks as you make your way along, you can. Rua will, anyway. Nice,
Perception
nice.
check?
Yeah, perception
Give me
checks to watch
one.
out
It's
for
the
anything.
duality of man right there.
Hmm.
That's a mediocre roll.
It's fine. Haldane?
That was truly mediocre.
So, the two half elves, you both struggle. Seamus, you're having to deal with the fact that the horse really doesn't like you.
Yeah, it's not
And
the MVP.
You're too busy focusing on your music that the horse seemingly doesn't enjoy. Aldane, I'd say because he sat at the back and it's a bit awkward. It was accommodated to fit multiple people in, especially a bigger one to fit in Prody because they knew you were getting an extra party member.
Mm.
But otherwise, yeah, it's a bit awkward for you. Felix, you are just spotting along. You don't really notice anything out of the ordinary. Although I'd say in between you're probably like trying to get sketches out or find anything that might be of interest as you're on the cart.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment.
Rua and Daron would immediately notice. Daron, in the distance, you can already see what looks like ominous-looking clouds up north, far off into the horizon.
There's a storm brewing.
And as you look into the distance, you do feel a very slight ping coming from isolation.
And guess what, boys?
Uh,
Oh boy.
what? What is it, Daron? Tell us.
Isolation senses our old friend, the Ancient One.
I mean, none of you have met him, right? So how can you call him your friend?
Didn't we actually just like I've spoken to the Ancient One?
No, you've not. Have you?
I feel like we have.
No,
We
you've
saw
never
the-
interacted with it.
We saw
You've seen it
or Aldane saw the flashback with
with his dad.
yeah,
Through his dad's eyes, you presume.
but that's about it, I think.
Yeah, none of you have really had any actual interaction. It's been pretty much just Aldane, really.
Why did I
And
think
even then,
we met with him?
It's just because you've spoken to a dragon a lot through your sword. I'd say. Anyway. And yeah, Rua actually nods and says, I can sense something as well. I can feel a pulse coming from my moonblade as well. As if my echoes in the sword are telling me that we should be careful. But if it's as strong as an adult white dragon, according to what my granddad said, we should be pretty fine, especially for 6 of us. I can't speak for how strong Prody is nowadays, since I haven't seen him for a bit, but who knows.
I mean, he had to defeat that fearsome war beast, so
But yeah, so as you make your way along, I'm assuming you're just ignoring Turim's Tower again, just because there's literally no reason to go there now, because it's been basically abandoned, as far as you know.
Or Taro.
Because yeah, so you pretty much just cut straight through. It does take a while. As you find yourselves getting closer and closer to the Forbidden Ice, I'd say about to this point. No, wrong tool. About here. You do already feel like a bit of a chill in the air. It's not too noticeable.
I don't see the world map.
Am I not? Are you not on? I'm so cringe. There we go.
Go.
Yeah. As you get to about here, you do actually notice like it's very slight chill.
Hmm.
It's still sunny in the sky at this point, but the clouds are still there in the distance as well, as you would have been going through the days traveling. But yeah, it does seem like there is a very slightest chill in the air. But since most of you would be in the sun, you don't really feel it very much. And that alone is like how long? That is wrong ruler. There, to like there, to like there, to there, there, there. It's about 250 miles. That would be about 245.
about a third of the way there already.
10 days. So nearly 2. So about a week and some change in. Yeah. By this point, you do notice like a bit of a chill, and the clouds are seemingly getting a bit bigger. But otherwise, yeah. Your journey's mostly been okay. Someone else give me a D100 who isn't Daron.
I'll do it.
Okay. So by that
Darn.
point, when you get to the arguably the convergence area from all the awkward twists and turns that are in Cordis,
Mm-hmm.
by that point, it is actually beginning to get a bit wet and windy. It does make travel a bit awkward. The drivers, can you make your appropriate checks? Land vehicles and animal handling. Hello?
I'm here.
Yeah.
Sorry, I spaced for a sec. What's going on?
Make the checks, animal handling and land vehicles.
Yeah, that.
Not bad.
Oh, nice.
Oh yes,
Double
much
nice.
better.
During the time you chain this, you begin to realize that even though the horse is quite ornery, it does appreciate like being fed a little bit extra during your time with it.
Mm-hmm.
And since you've realized that just feeding it a little bit extra it appreciates, it's taken to you a lot better. And even though it's quite nervous about the sky ahead, because it can clearly tell like you're getting closer, but both of you manage to relax it enough that it doesn't impede your progress, even in the rain. If you'd have rolled badly, that would have extended the time by another few days. But thankfully, that's not an issue. So, as you make your way to about here, not too far from the unnamed village, I would say give me perception checks, actually. Give me 2 perception checks, all of you. I should have really asked sooner.
Dos. Dos
Dos
cheques de
percepciones.
percepciones. Oh
Is
wow!
this for
so many,
sight?
so many 14s.
Oh my
Uh,
god, the duality of man on the second roll there.
Mostly sight, because the thing is, the parts of Cordis you're in aren't very, like, heavily trees. There aren't a lot of trees or even hills. It's quite open. So this is primarily sight. Very hard. Any ambush would be, like, god tier ambush. You would very likely notice any attempts between everyone. So yeah. So for the first leg, about here, I should have really said, as you were moving on, again, like I said before, there's a bit of a chill in the air, and as you continued along, you do actually see the clouds seemingly getting a bit more numerous, and by about the second half of this leg, if you will, before I go on to the next bit, the air is starting to get colder. It's not too bad. It's mostly quite subtle. During nights, you do have to like tuck yourself in a bit better when you're sleeping, you know, in like your bedrolls.
Yeah.
What season are we in right now?
Fuck, that's a question. I haven't even thought about the calendar for ages. I completely forgot because I'm an idiot.
Because I know a few weeks
ago.
ago we were in like the middle of that sun festival in the summer.
Yeah, that wasn't too far along. Just waiting for the calendar to load in. See, we had Rybarb's Peak. Blue Draws left. Oh yeah, I remember because July was basically completely missed because you had to journey to the neutral point, I believe. Okay, I'm gonna say it's actually not too far from autumn. You've travelled, I believe it was up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Like there, and get to here. It's like 300. I'll round it up to 320 miles. So by this point, it's been about 13 days plus the 3 weeks. So you've technically been like what, nearly 5 weeks since you've left since the duel. I would say you're approaching autumn now. I will actually start being more actively cautious of the calendar. I'd say you are in Jade, which is September.
All right.
So you are in September the 5th, why not? Which is a Saturday. So yeah, as I was saying, as you get closer to autumn, it's already quite cooler anyway, because you know you've passed summer, really. You aren't sure if it's just the autumn wind is coming in a bit earlier than it should. You aren't sure if it's in reaction to getting closer to Colonial Pole anyway, and also seemingly the storm clouds above near the Forbidden Ice, because you do notice they are near where the Forbidden Ice presumably should be. As you get closer, Daron, the pings from the isolation weapon you have are getting. It's not like faster and faster. I mean, it is getting a bit quicker every time you look, but it's not like a lot, really. It's like instead of just one ping every half minute, it's like one ping every quarter minute, like every 15 seconds.
I relay this to the group.
And in the distance, let me just check. So for the first leg, which was the 11, 17, 12, 15, and 8, everything seems to be fine on the road. You do pass through by caravans and stuff, but they don't stop for you because you're out in the open area. The second leg, which is when everyone started getting much better perception checks as well, most of everyone, pretty much everyone, and Seamus, you do notice because it gets pointed out, you do see a shadow high above in the distance to the north, like this way, where the Forbidden Ice is.
That's not ominous.
And it very much looks like a very similar shape you've seen in the sky before. And when you look at it, Dayron, the pings are faster, but then when you stop looking at it, or if it's obscured, or eventually when it does go down, the pings calm down to just once every 15 seconds. Once every, quarter of a minute, sorry.
This is gonna hurt my brain a bit if this keeps going on.
My measurements are getting awkward. But yeah. Other than that, though, everything's fine. You aren't really bothered. Right. Dylan, Mill, who wants to make a D100 between you both?
I'll do it.
Okay.
Oh, 2. Right then. Well. So by this point, so by the time you actually make it to the Bloodblade Orc camp, it's snowing. Not heavily, but you do see bits of snow, like snowflakes every now and then. And the sky above is quite dark. And I will also ask Seamus, Daron, give me your vehicle horse checks, please. Land vehicles is a 21. The horse is really not liking this. It can sense something is amiss. To the point where by the time you get to the Bloodblade Orcs camp, thankfully Daron manages to help recover things, but you do actually lose a day. Because you have to pretty much spend an entire day to set up early and calm it down. It's only a day, but, you know, still not fun to have to stop early. But you do manage to get to the Bloodblade Orc camp. Well, you get to where the camp is, and you're already intercepted by a very familiar orc on a horse who waves over to you. As you see Brody, and he's just like, "Hey, it's good to see you all again. How have you all been?"
Well, after the last time we saw you, we nearly died. That wasn't fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can imagine.
We met the leaders of all the countries.
Nice. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, some of them were cool, some were less cool.
Yeah, some more kind of dicks.
I wrote a song about it.
Nice. But yeah, it's good to see you again. Apparently fighting a dragon? That's something new. I mean, we fought a T-Rex, but that doesn't fly and breathe at you. But
Yeah.
I am willing to help. I told my clan about it, and they were happy to let me leave. They said if I can come back with something as proof, yeah, they'll be happy. Pretty much.
Alrighty, so let's hit the road, or
By this time, when you would have met Brody, it would probably be about like about 4 p.m. I'd say. So it is a bit later. Oh my god, Roll20, what are you doing? Rua Sheets decided to glitch out, but it's fine. We shouldn't need him, or at least his character sheet. I mean. But yeah, you all. He does offer if you want to head back to the Orc camp, so you can then rest up for the journey to the Forbidden Ice is really underway, and Claudia Paul. Do you want to?
Probably a smart idea.
We do also need to make sure to contact Drake. If we haven't already.
Rue would have told you along the way that he actually was able to get a sending out to hit Drake, and he basically has said, if you guys can contact Kuro, and he will be able to fashion a means to contact Drake to have his men basically meet you along the river.
Mm-hmm.
They're already they're already at crossroads, and they'll get there as soon as they can to meet you along about here.
Yeah.
So if you want, you can take the time to rest at the Orc camp, and then message Kuro, and he will sort out a means with which for them to meet you guys. So I'm guessing you're doing that because
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you rest at the Orc camp. You do see a few familiar faces, just like the old lady who made you drink that weird thing that knocked you out. Bit of a weird, out of context description. For the people who, because this wasn't streamed when that happened, was it? No, it was. I forgot. Because we started streaming this when around the time when you actually finished the stuff with Prody, right?
Yeah, they're
I think
about
so,
them.
yeah.
Yeah, so yeah. If everyone who's seen up to that point when Prody was still around, when the elder of the Orc camp, the shaman lady, basically had the party drink some sort of liquid that knocked you guys out. That was all crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, though, other than that, though, no one really bothers you. It seems like Prody's more respected in the community now. That is one thing you do notice. People actually do give him like an acknowledging nod.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, as you guys like sit and rest, he does actually tell you guys about how he's actually been teaching some magic to some of the orcs, and some of them have actually been able to use cantrips.
That's neat.
And he pretty much tells you how he's been working his way up the ranks and becoming a lot more popular, and quite a few people are actually coming around to his way of thinking with using intelligence and shit, and fighting cleverly.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, the war beast is still just the war beast. The Shih Tzu hasn't really changed.
I love that thing.
Gad-
Can I pet it?
Gadzooks is a bit quizzical as to why it's not grown yet, because it should.
Mm-hmm.
He believes it should, at least. But he's still trying to train it all the same. I would say as well, actually, if any of you do cast your eyes to the Forbidden Ice, by this point at the Bloodblade Orc camp, the clouds are even bigger than before, and it is actually cold a bit.
Mm.
Not even. There's also more snow, snowflakes falling. And now the pings are getting quicker day on as you look. They are now consistently nearly once every few seconds like once every like 10
I let
seconds
everybody
or
know
so.
about that.
It's only if you look ahead, but if you look away, now it's once every minute. But yeah, you do get notified actually by Kurogane that the men in the Crossroads settlement are making their way as soon as possible to meet you up. And they will actually send a signal in the sky for when they're good to meet you. So yeah, that's the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
As you guys sleep though at the Orc camp, I'm just going to change the music.
Ruh-roh.
Is this the song I want? Well, I don't know because there's a Pringles advert. Oh, extra hot sizzling cheese. I might get that one. Anyway, I like my spicy food anyway. No, this is really the stuff I want. I really should be looking here. It's all good anyway. Not that one. Here we go. Fuck it, I don't care anymore. So, as you all are sleeping,
Mm-hmm.
let's let the music set in.
Yes,
Now I'm going to make
appropriately
now I'm
creepy.
Now I'm going to make a roll. Dayron,
Yes.
as you are sleeping, you see flashes of like weird out of context images, like you have no clue what these are supposed to mean. But you see like random bits of trees, dark clouds, like hills, there's blood. There's a lot of blood. In fact, most of these images have blood some way or another. In one image that you see flashing, you see people running, presumably in terror. You don't see their faces because they're moving away from the point of view you're looking at. And it just feels really uncomfortable. Like, it's not only just weird, but like, some of these images aren't nice to look at. Like, you do see some like dead people, some people who've been trampled, some
Not
people
great.
ripped apart, some people have even been melted. And as each image flashes through, you hear this like heartbeat each time an image flashes through, from what you can see. And just these uncomfortable heartbeats with these just weird images. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, it's just uncomfortable. And eventually, the vision goes, and you find yourself in this like black abyss, which then slowly begins to fill with just like buildings and trees, as you find yourself in a place that looks very much like Bovetman's capital. But you can feel something staring down at you. You don't know where the feeling is.
Isolation.
You hear. You don't hear a noise, but you feel a response in acknowledgement, if you get what I mean. Like it seems to be It seems to have responded to what you've just said.
What am I seeing?
It's just you see an empty.
No, I'm asking.
Oh, you don't get a response. As you look around, it's just empty streets. There's nothing but you here. And if you look at your clothing and your appearance, you're just wearing normal clothes. You don't have any of your gear on you.
That's concerning.
And
I walk around.
as you walk around, it probably takes like 10 minutes of walking before your eyes start to sting. Not massively, but it feels like you're having to rub your eyes quite a bit as you're walking along. Like when dust is in your eye. And eventually, when you're having to. It gets to the point where you're having to rub your eyes a lot. And eventually, when you pull your hands away, there's just blood. Your eyes hurt, but not as much as the blood is coming from your eye.
I rub and I rub and I'm rubbing.
The more you rub, the more blood comes, until eventually you just start feeling it trickling down your face. Like tears. And then it starts to hurt. But there's nothing like, you can't even find like a jug of water. You do find a fountain with which to clean your face and, you know, like, presumably clean your eyes. But when you look into the reflection, you don't see Dayron. You see the young men. You see one of the young men that you've been seeing in these images that all of you have seen. The, like, elven-looking men with pale skin, bright blue, like, bright blue aquamarine bluish eyes, dark hair, nicely dressed clothes. And when you, like, presumably, like, recoil in, like, shock, it matches you. And if you look down at yourself, your appearance now seemingly has changed to match the reflection. And in the reflection, you see, like, dark clouds gathering. And if you look up, the clouds are there. And eventually the clouds coalesce and swirl. And, like, you see light breaking through the clouds. And there's just this gigantic eye. Similar to the eye you saw Flora have when she was taken over in that fight ages ago now.
That's concerning.
And you hear a voice, and it just says, "The claws draw near and nearer."
Great. Am I like doubled over in pain?
No. In fact, the pain seems to have gone. Your eyes feel fine. But there's just this eye staring at you. And then it just says, "Once you get closer to the claw, your friend with the golden hair, will become just like you, a wielder of our great power. Take care that he and yourselves, of course, do not die."
What's your game?
Game is such a childish word.
A childish word for a childish being.
We merely wish to become whole once again.
There's more to this. What is it?
Why should we tell you? We have no obligation. And you can't exactly throw us away. Throw us into the ocean. Some sort of underwater creature will just take the weapon. And then you've doomed the oceans. You're lucky you are a champion, that your friends are champions. By now, you would have had more dreams. And it's very likely you would have probably become even worse than Flora did. After all, you're much stronger than she is, which goes without saying, obviously, but you get the point.
I'm gonna enjoy stabbing your eyes out.
I look forward to the occasion, Rira.
Darren winces, but
I look forward to seeing you squirm, as you have been recently. It's very enjoyable. But I also do respect when you bounce back. I like nothing other than a challenge. And seeing you break through in spite of the tribulations and trials is always enjoyable. If you and your friends do manage to collect all of us, I would be willing to give you a place amongst my ranks as a top enforcer. You and your friends would be given wishes within your wildest dreams. And I'd be willing to give you a measure of my power and recompense.
I'll think on it.
Oh, that's a bit more agreeable than I was expecting.
You know my heart better than most people.
I actually do not. But I appreciate the belief. And before you can speak anymore, a lightning bolt just passes through the eye, and you just see blood falling from the sky, almost like a flood. And it's a very familiar colour, a very bright blue, an azure blue to be exact. And you hear a very familiar presence as it just says, "Do not let yourself be tempted by the siren's call of this creature, Daron. You should know better than anyone else what this thing would do if given the chance."
Oh, I know.
Good. Do not make my faith in you be misplaced, Daron. And you then
Can I?
You don't even get a chance, unfortunately. as
Okay,
you,
I was gonna ask if Shiryu could hear
you
in my
just
mind.
bolt up, you just find yourself already sat up in your sleep. And you just feel a slight chill from the wind as everyone else is asleep. Or trancing, or whatever.
Can I put isolation in the bag of holding?
Well, it's already in your hand.
I want to put it in the bag.
I know, but when you wake up, it's already in your hand.
I'm putting it in the bag.
You put it in the bag? Yeah.
And then I whisper a prayer to Seiryu.
Oh, give me a wisdom check. Straight wisdom. So as you take a moment and think, as you imagine the image of Seiryu and the lightning bolt that seemingly killed the eye in the dream, you hear a thunderclap in the distance. And if you look to where the source was, because you actually are able to see it from the hole in Brody's tent, it seems to be a brighter blue than normal. And you feel a sense of calm wash over you. Calm enough that you can find yourself sleeping quite easily. However, it's not over. Aldane,
Oh boy.
as you are sleeping, you see nothing but white again. Vast expanse of white, which you quickly realize is snow. And you also are in nothing but normal clothes. You do not have the feeling of you do not have your armor to at least give you some sense of security, or even a weapon. And you just begin to hear blood-curdling screams. And it's coming from behind. And you see a very large white dragon on the floor, writhing in pain as its legs and arms have been cut off. Not even like at a joint, like partway along, just in the middle of the limb. and there's just nothing but red blood on the floor as it just screams, "Don't take my children! I'm begging you, take me if you must, but not my children!" And if you look over to the side, where it's seemingly looking at, you see a man. Short blonde hair. Not as brightly coloured as yours, but his facial features and build look awfully similar to you. And it's just looking the dragon in the eye. And if you look past him, you see various men with masks, very familiar masks and outfits, dragging away eggs and what appear to be white dragon wormlings, similar to the ones you've seen before that you fought. And they're just writhing and screaming, but some of them have been bound. Some of them have even had swords go through their faces so they can't open their mouths properly. Some of them are in barbed wire. Some of them are forcibly in bear traps. Anything they can do to be caught, these people have done it. And there's just a lot of red. You would think it's black and white, if not for the fact that there's all this red. And you just hear nothing but screams. And the man, who you can see has rounded ears, just shakes his head at the big dragon and just says, "Unfortunately, we need these for research. I hope you can understand. You're seemingly quite intelligent for the ancient whites. You're a credit to your people. Do not worry, however, we will not kill any of these unless we are forced to. But think of it this way. You're left alive so you can breed more children. Think of that as the mercy we're giving you. After all, we might come back for some more." And the smile he has, it's uncomfortable, because it looks exactly how you would be smiling, Galdane, if you were genuinely in a good mood. And the dragon rears its head back, ready to fire a breath of ice, but you see some men from behind actually, stab a sword into one of its open leg wounds that's been cut open. And the ice breath just immediately dissipates as it's too busy screaming. And the voice just says from the man, "Breathe ice on me and you would attack your own children. Are you really willing to let them die anyway? At least this way they can live, right?" And the dragon just looks at the human and says, "For as long as I live, I will remember your face and scent, and I will kill any of your spawn.
Ruh-roh.
Oh no.
I will make sure
Oh,
any
shit.
child of yours, anyone who even carries your scent or your children's scent, will die a death so horrifying, even the gods themselves will wince. What the wild cards did to my father will be nothing more than a joke compared to what I will do to anyone who knows you." And your arms, Aldane, feel numb, and your legs feel numb. And it feels like there's a scratching coming from them, but you can't do anything about it, as you find yourselves losing all feeling in your legs, and you just faceplant in the snow. You can't even move your limbs. You're just basically just trapped in your body. And the snow is cold as well. You don't have any clothing to help. And it's just awful. As eventually, the figures and everyone you see just vanishes into dust, and you're left there alone in in what seems to be the Forbidden Ice, as far as you can maybe imagine. Wherever you are, there's nothing but just mountains of snow for miles on end, and you can barely just wiggle across the floor to move forward. Eventually, however, you do gain feeling back in your limbs, but it's only nothing but pain. And you see yourself in a similar position to the dragon. Your arms and legs have been cut off, not even at the stumps, so you could presumably put a prosthetic in quite easily. And then you just see a silhouette of a large creature. Only its claws you can see any features of. And from what you can tell, the silhouette's looking at you from the shape of the head, and it brings up a claw and brings it down on you, and you just find yourself shunted awake. And it's very hard to move because your arms and legs are very numb. Only you're awake right now.
Oh, shit.
Give me a wisdom saving throw. Jack?
Oh, sorry. Oh, fuck.
It takes you a good solid half hour before you can find yourself even able to move and then go back to sleep. But you are very rattled. Eventually, morning comes and you all find yourselves awakened. The sky is pretty miserable. It's not snowing, but it looks like a storm is coming. And it's even colder than it is before. At this point, like, you are starting to get some of you might feel a bit of a chill and end up shivering if you're not like in heavier clothes. Like Rua is actually shivering a bit right now, for example. And yeah, it's just a very miserable day today. What do?
I tell the group about my dreams.
So everyone is in the loop about what Darren saw.
I also tell everyone about mine.
Prody just frowns and says, I mean, I'm willing to help you guys, but this is pretty fucking crazy.
In fairness, the first one wasn't that much better. I dreamt for the
Yeah,
first
that was a
time,
rough
and
day
it
for
was.
you.
I dreamt for the first time, and it was very, very bad. I don't know how
Yeah,
you
that's-
people do it.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing as well, actually, yeah. It actually made you dream. That's the thing. Yeah. Well, Brewer just says, well, unfortunately, there's not much sense in beating ourselves up about it. If the dragon doesn't like some of us, then, well, I mean, hopefully that means it won't be attacking innocents. And hopefully that means we can draw it to Aldane, so it means we can hit on it better, as long as Aldane just does nothing but try and turtle the fight.
Yes, I'm going to have to tank quite a bit. You could throw healing spells my way every now and then. That'd be great.
I mean, I can't heal. He just shrugs.
And I've got potions, but
I mean, we can't exactly glass him with potions.
I was
now,
gonna say glassing you with potions seems to be counterproductive.
So the dragon is likely going to focus all its attention on me.
Here's hoping.
Plus side, if we beat it, it sounds like you're getting the next scary weapon.
Hooray.
Trust me, it's hooray.
As you guys are talking, getting ready, If you actually see in the distance near where you need to go, you do see a beam of red light in the sky.
That's not ominous.
It might be the it's
I
probably
mean,
the
from
people
here,
at the
sorry, not the
yeah.
forbidden ice like there.
It's the people helping us across the river, right?
You did get told that you would be seeing a signal.
Hmm. So let's be on our way.
Oh. Yes.
And as you make your way, with the cart in tow. Actually, no, before we go, land vehicle and animal handling check, please, with disadvantage this time.
Aw, damn it. Alright, so.
Damn it.
The horse isn't willing to go, unfortunately. The Bloodblade orcs will look after the horse and cart, but it won't be coming with you, unfortunately. It's too spooked.
Well, we got it
Fair.
as far as we could. At least we're leaving it somewhere where it can be looked after.
Mm-hmm.
And as you make your way to about like, that would be nice to be like 35 miles. And I did 355. That's only like, it's not very long. It's like half a day. Yeah, you eventually, as you leave the camp, Aldane, as if you look towards the forbidden ice, you just feel this weird sensation, like something's pressing on you. But none of you, thankfully, do see the ancient dragon. And that's what I'm going to call the session.
All right.
All right.
Woo!
Looks like next time we're in for the fight of at least my life.
Aldane's in danger.
I'm in danger.
Just a little bit of danger.
It would probably be smart if I had bought more healing potions, but oh well.
It's fine, you can just spam the dodge action, as long as it doesn't just immediately go for the breath weapon.
Mm-hmm. Anyway,
True.
that is all we have for you today. Thank you for watching as always. Tomorrow we'll be getting back to the story of Mass Effect 1. I believe we will be going to Feros. I think it's probably
Oh,
Oh, have
no.
fun with that.
it's probably the next step for us. Thursday will be the summer anime premiere stream. Saturday, I believe, is ReZero Season 1.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, next Sunday, the continuation of this. And hopefully Aldane doesn't get eaten whole by an ancient white dragon.
Yeah, that would be kind of not great.
You know, fingers crossed, knock on wood.
Well, fingers crossed, if Aldane does die, he takes a long time about it so that, you know, we don't draw aggro on the dragon.
The hope is that we can at least run away.
I've sent my
Wow.
friend the invite link to the server.
That's good. Look, Jack, if Aldane has to die, I'm hoping it'll be as usefully as possible.
Thanks. I really appreciate that vote of confidence.
If Aldane
I mean, to be
has
fair, I
die.
feel like Bill would say that about any one of us.
Probably.
I mean, yes. Felix wouldn't. I would.
Yeah, so have you ended the stream yet?
Nope. I was just about to say goodbye. And I will say it. Goodbye. Thank you for watching. Follow us on Twitch and Twitter. Subscribe to us on YouTube where all the archives are going up. And we will see you next time. Good night.
Later.
Woo!